Be still for a moment, close your eyes, not to escape the world, but to see the one within you. For the world you see out there is nothing more than a reflection of what you believe in here. The universe has a message for you, and it is not hidden in the stars or found in some distant galaxy. It is right here, within your own consciousness. It is a soft whisper beneath your loudest thoughts, a quiet knowing beneath your loudest fears. The message is this: you are more powerful than you've ever been told. You were never meant to chase after anything. What you desire is not far from you. It is you. You desire it because at some deeper level, it already belongs to you. That longing you feel, it's not emptiness, it's memory, it's recognition. The universe is trying to remind you of who you are. Every time you imagine, every time you assume, every time you feel something deeply, you are communing with the source. That voice you call intuition, that's the universe saying, I've already prepared this for you. Just believe. You keep asking for signs, but what if the sign is the desire? What if the thing you want so badly is actually the universe's message in disguise? It is not teasing you, it is teaching you to claim what's yours, not through effort, but through assumption. You don't beg for the sunrise. You know it's coming. In the same way, you must no longer beg for your desire. Assume its presence. Dwell in its reality. Feel it now. The moment you move your inner attention, the outer world must follow. That is not a belief. It is law. The universe is not responding to your words. It is responding to your state of being. Become the one who already has it, and you find the world reshaping itself to match you. So today, stop looking outside for confirmation. Go within. Dwell in the silence. Feel the truth. You are the message. You are the miracle. And the universe, it's not asking you to wait. It's waiting on you to awaken. Everything you encounter in your world, every person, every event, every circumstance, is not happening to you, but through you. The world is not separate from you, it is your reflection. It is your thoughts, your assumptions, your dominant feelings, and your innermost beliefs pushed out into form. What you consistently entertain within is what you will eventually experience without. This is not a theory, it is the living truth that governs reality. The moment you understand that your outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner state, everything begins to change. You no longer see yourself as a victim of chance or circumstance. You begin to understand that every condition in your life, whether desired or undesired, is a manifestation of what you have assumed to be true about yourself and the world. If you believe the world is hostile, full of scarcity and betrayal, you will meet situations that confirm that belief. People will disappoint you, money will slip through your fingers, and peace will evade you. Not because life is cruel, but because you believed it must be so. You have accepted those ideas as facts, and the universe, being impersonal and faithful, reflects them back to you without judgment. It has no opinion. It only mirrors. But the reverse is also true. If you begin to assume that the world is kind, that love is abundant, that success flows to you with ease, the mirror adjusts. People start treating you differently. Opportunities arise. Life begins to bend in your favor. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. Your imagination is the center of creation. Every time you entertain an idea and accept it as true, even if it's only in the secrecy of your mind, you are sowing a seed. That seed may not bloom overnight, but it will bloom. And when it does, It will appear in the world around you as an undeniable reflection of your inner activity. This is why it's not enough to affirm words while feeling fear. It's not enough to act positive while internally doubting. The mirror does not reflect your words alone. It reflects your state of being. The feeling behind the thought is what impresses the subconscious. It is the silent, persistent feeling that shapes your reality. You cannot hide from your own consciousness. You may deceive others with appearances, but you cannot deceive the law. What you truly believe about yourself will echo back through your relationships, your finances, your health, and your circumstances. This is not a punishment. It is a gift. It is the evidence that your world is malleable, that your destiny is not set in stone but written in the ink of your assumptions. You are always creating, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every day, with every thought, you are setting the tone for your life. If you want to know what you have been assuming, look around you. Your life is a perfect record of your inner conversation. So begin today, not by forcing the world to change, but by changing your view of it. Begin within. Choose new assumptions. Dwell in new feelings. Assume that you are already the person you wish to be. Live from the end, not as a trick to manipulate life, but as an act of surrender to the truth that you are the operant power. The world you experience is not happening outside of you. It is you, seen from the outside. When you change your inner world, the outer world must reflect it. That is the law. That is the message. And that is your power. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is not idle daydreaming or childish make-believe. Imagination is the divine voice within you, the sacred channel through which the universe speaks its most powerful truths. When you imagine, you are not creating something that does not exist. You are tuning into a reality that already is. The act of imagining is the act of aligning with creation itself. Every great shift, every miracle, every transformation begins in the unseen realms of imagination. The world has conditioned you to trust only what your eyes can see, what your hands can touch, what your ears can hear. But the senses are limited. They only report what has already been created. They cannot show you what can be. That is the role of imagination. The unseen is always the source of the seen. The visible is born from the invisible. Before anything appears in your life, it must first be imagined. The whisper you hear when you are alone and still, the image that comes to you in quiet moments, is not random. It is not empty hope. It is a divine message, a preview of what is possible if you dare to believe it. The universe does not shout, it does not argue, it whispers through your imagination. It offers you a glimpse of your highest reality and waits patiently for you to accept it. What you imagine with feeling and persistence, what you emotionally accept as true, you call into being. This is not wishful thinking. This is law. The world conforms itself to your inner assumptions, and those assumptions take shape in the silence of your mind. When you imagine having what you desire, and when you persist in that inner reality with conviction, the outer world must reflect it. The imagination is not only the beginning, it is the bridge between the formless and the formed. It is the creative faculty through which you mold your destiny. If you wish to know your future, look at what you are imagining today. What scenes are you playing in the theater of your mind? What outcomes are you rehearsing in secret? Those quiet moments are more powerful than any external action, for they are the true seed of manifestation. You may not see the results immediately, but know this: every time you enter a state in imagination and feel it to be real, you shift the path of your life. Reality begins to rearrange itself to accommodate your new assumption. People, events, and circumstances begin to move in unseen ways to bring about the fulfillment of what you have accepted inwardly. You may think it is coincidence. It is not. It is law responding to faith. But you must believe. You must assume. You must persist. Not out of desperation, but out of quiet certainty. The imagination is not a place to visit once and forget. It is the dwelling place of those who understand their power. To imagine is to live from the end. To imagine is to declare, "This is already mine," and to feel the truth of that claim so deeply that the world must catch up to it. There will be times when doubt will rise. The senses will scream that nothing is changing. But remember, the world is slow to reveal what has already shifted within. Do not waver, hold the image, feel it, return to it as often as necessary until it becomes more real to you than what your eyes see. That is the key. That is the test. And that is the invitation the universe extends to you through the quiet, persistent voice of imagination. You are not waiting for a sign, you are the sign. And your imagination is the language in which the universe speaks to remind you of what you are truly capable of. Listen closely. Trust what you see within. It is more real than anything the world has ever shown you. The universe does not respond to words. It does not respond to begging, pleading, or even effort. It responds to one thing alone: feeling. Feeling is the secret language, the silent code that unlocks the doors of unseen power. It is not enough to think positively or speak affirmations if your heart remains full of fear and doubt. You must feel the truth of your desire fulfilled. You must dwell in the emotional state of already having, already being, already living the reality you seek. Feeling is the essence behind the thought. It is what gives thought its creative force. A thought without feeling is a whisper with no echo. But a thought charged with deep emotion becomes a command to the universe, a declaration of belief that must be answered. Your inner world is not shaped by casual thoughts. It is shaped by the dominant feelings you carry in the quiet of your being. When you desire something, the natural reaction is to yearn for it, to look at what is and feel the absence of what you want. But this is the great trap. The more you feel the lack, the more you impress that lack upon the subconscious, and the more it outpictures itself in your world. The universe is always listening, not to your words, but to your state. If you dwell in the feeling of not having, not being, not receiving, then that becomes your reality. But when you reverse this, when you turn inward and begin to feel as though your desire were already yours, you shift something profound. You no longer beg the universe. You no longer chase after outcomes. Instead, you become a vibrational match to that which you seek. You become it, and by the law of correspondence, it must find its way to you. You may wonder, how do I feel something that is not yet true? The answer is simple: imagination. Close your eyes, see it, hear it, touch it in your mind, and most importantly, feel it. Let yourself feel the relief, the joy, the satisfaction of already being where you want to be. Do not force it. Simply surrender into it. Let it become natural. Let it become familiar. You're not faking anything. You are awakening a deeper truth. Everything you desire already exists in the unseen. It is waiting for you to align with it through feeling. Not someday, not after a process, right now. The moment you feel it as real, the universe begins to move. Circumstances shift, people change, doors open. The world is not fixed, it is fluid. It bends to your inner state. You do not need to know how it will happen. You only need to enter the state of the wish fulfilled and remain there. This is not pretending. This is choosing. You are choosing to live from the truth of your desire instead of the appearance of your current condition. You will know it is working not by immediate results, but by the quiet confidence that begins to take root in you. A peace will come, a sense of knowing. That knowing is the sign. That feeling is the seed. The results will follow. They must, for the world is your mirror, and it cannot reflect anything except what you believe and feel within. So practice not just thinking about your desire, but feeling it. Make that your habit. Cultivate the inner tone of fulfillment. Let the feeling be your guide, your prayer, your compass. Let it saturate your mind and body. And when the doubts come, and they will, return again and again to that inner feeling. That is your true work. That is your sacred task. It is not effort that manifests, but alignment. And alignment is achieved through feeling. The universe speaks this language fluently when you learn to feel on purpose, to dwell in the emotional state of your chosen reality. You are no longer waiting for life to change. You are changing life itself. You are not here to chase. You are not here to beg. You are not here to become something you are not. What you seek is already within you. The universe is not asking you to strive. It is calling you to remember, to awaken, to return to the truth that has always been etched into your being, long before you ever asked for more. Desire is not a signal of lack. It is a signal of recognition. You are not desiring something outside of yourself. You are sensing what is already yours in a deeper dimension. You are not creating the desire, you are receiving it. You are not inventing the dream, you are remembering it. That inner longing you feel is not a chase for something lost, but a call to align with something already present within your own consciousness. The great illusion is that you must become, that you must improve, that you must achieve in order to be worthy of what you want. But what if you are not meant to strive, but to realize? What if everything you have ever wanted is not something to reach for, but something to release into? You are not a blank slate. You are not an empty vessel. You are a spark of the infinite, whole, complete, and carrying within you the pattern of every desire you have ever felt. The dream does not come to torment you. It comes to remind you. You would not long for it if it were not already yours. The feeling of wanting is the shadow of having. The desire itself is the proof of your power. But you must stop looking outward for confirmation. The world will not give you permission to believe in yourself. It will not reflect your inner reality until you fully claim it. If you are waiting for the world to show you the evidence before you believe, you are standing in reverse. It is your belief that brings the evidence. It is your conviction that shapes the outer conditions. The universe is speaking, not through thunder or signs in the clouds, but through the quiet knowing that rises when you are still. When you stop trying to become and start allowing yourself to be, you begin to feel the truth. You already are. You already have. You already know. What does the oak tree do to become the oak? Nothing. The acorn contains the blueprint. The potential is not added later. It is present from the start. You are the same. The seed of your greatness, your peace, your abundance, your love is already inside you. All that is needed is for you to trust the process of unfolding, to water it with belief, to nourish it with attention, and to stop digging it up with doubt. The world outside is not the source, it is the reflection. If you try to manipulate the mirror, you miss the truth. Change must happen from within, and it is not through force, but through surrender to the truth that has always been yours. You came here already equipped. The desires you feel are not by accident. They are tailored to your soul. No two people desire the same things in the same way. Why? Because your desire is the fingerprint of your purpose. It is your soul speaking, and your soul never asks you to chase. It asks you to awaken. Return to that inner knowing. Sit quietly with the feeling of already having, already being. Let go of striving. Let go of waiting. Let go of becoming. Everything you need is already in you. The love, the wealth, the healing, the clarity. It is not a future version of you. It is you right now, remembered, accepted, and expressed. When you truly see that what you seek is already within you, there is nothing left to chase. There is only alignment. And once you align, the world moves. Not because you pushed it, but because you finally allowed it to reflect who you truly are. Everything begins with you. Every condition, every person, every event, each one is drawn to you in response to your inner state. You are not here to react to the world, you are here to command it through consciousness. The message is clear. Stop reacting and start creating. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the author of the scene. The great misunderstanding is that life happens to you, that external events are random, that people act independently of your inner life, and that you must adapt and respond to what unfolds. But the truth is far more powerful. Life happens through you. The world outside is an exact reflection of the world within. Your assumptions shape the script. Your beliefs guide the characters. Your feelings create the setting. You are not a bystander in your own life. You are the creator of it. The moment you accept this, everything changes. You no longer wait for permission. You no longer search for signs. You no longer ask the world what you are allowed to believe. You become the cause. You begin to lead from within. And when you do, the entire universe responds to your inner shift. To live as the cause means to assume full responsibility for your state of being. Not in guilt, not in shame, but in power. You do not blame others, and you do not give them credit for your peace or your suffering. Instead, you turn inward. You ask, what am I assuming to be true? What am I believing right now that life is simply echoing back to me? It is a radical shift, one that moves you from powerlessness to sovereignty. You stop trying to fix the world and start changing your state. You stop fighting the mirror and start changing the face you present to it. The world does not shape you. You shape the world by how you think, how you feel, how you see yourself. The moment you declare, I am the cause, you awaken from the dream of helplessness. You take the pen back into your own hand. You revise the story. You no longer accept what is just because it is. You begin to write what will be, based on what you now choose to believe. And belief is the true power. Not effort, not force, not trying, but belief. When you know you are the cause, you stop begging. You stop waiting. You embody the state of your wish fulfilled, and that state moves the world. The characters around you shift. Opportunities you never imagined appear. Not because the outer world is magical, but because the real magic was always within you. You are the source, not the shadow. Everything that shows up is a reflection of something first entertained within. This is not punishment, it is precision. It means nothing is random. It means you can trust the process. If something unwanted appears, it is not there to destroy you. It is there to show you what you are carrying, what you believed, what needs to be revised. And you can revise it. You can shift the state. You can assume differently. And by doing so, you write a new scene. There is no power outside you greater than the one within. The outer world is clay in the hands of your consciousness. But you must stop looking at effects and start living from the cause. You must stop saying, why is this happening? And start declaring, this is what I now accept as true. You are not here to observe reality. You are here to generate it. Creation is always an inside job. You don't need to ask for permission. You don't need to wait for the world to agree. All you must do is step into the feeling of the scene you desire and persist in it. no matter what the current facts say. You are the light. You are the origin. You are the dreamer of the dream. And when you fully embrace this truth, nothing can stop you, because you will no longer be waiting for change. You will be causing it. The world is loud, it rushes, it shouts, it demands, and in that endless noise, many search for answers outside themselves. They chase signs, they crave confirmation, they look to others for the wisdom they already carry within. But the greatest messages from the universe are not found in the chaos. They are not shouted, they are whispered. They come in stillness, in silence, in the sacred space where your mind quiets and your soul speaks. You cannot hear the truth when you are always speaking, always reacting, always consuming. Truth is not something that fights to be heard. It waits. Patiently. It waits for you to pause, to stop reaching outward and start listening inward. In silence, the veil lifts. In stillness, the answers rise. Not from somewhere far away, but from the center of your being. The world teaches you to act, to fix, to respond. But the universe teaches you to be. And in being, in sitting quietly with yourself, you begin to hear a language deeper than words. You feel a knowing that cannot be taught. You begin to trust that inner voice, the one that isn't begging for attention, but has always known the way. There is power in stillness, not passivity, not indifference, but presence. When you quiet the noise, the mind stops its endless spinning and you become aware of something greater moving through you. Something that doesn't shout but simply is. A guidance that does not argue, a truth that does not need to be proven. A clarity that has always been yours but could not rise in the presence of constant mental clutter. Go within, be quiet, and you'll begin to sense it, not as a thought, not as a loud instruction, but as a gentle unfolding. Like a flower opening in the morning light, you begin to remember who you are and what you came here to do. Not because someone told you, but because the truth inside you has been waiting for the stillness to be heard. Do not mistake silence for emptiness. It is not void. It is fullness beyond form. It is the canvas where your next creation begins. When you are silent, you are not doing nothing. You are receiving. You are aligning. You are returning to your original state, where all things are possible because nothing is forced. The mind loves to solve, to calculate, to plan, but the soul moves differently. It guides through resonance, through peace, through knowing. And that knowing comes not when you strive, but when you surrender. When you no longer demand answers, but become available to receive them. When you stop trying to make something happen and start trusting that all things are already in motion. Stillness is not weakness, it is strength refined. It takes power to be still in a world obsessed with movement. It takes courage to be silent when everything in you wants to react. But in that silence, you tap into the real source. You no longer beg the universe to speak. You realize it always has been. You just needed to quiet down enough to hear. Every answer is already within. Every step, every insight, every truth. It's all there, waiting beneath the surface of noise. So return to yourself. Let the world spin. Let the distractions fade. Sit with the silence, and you will find that it's not empty. It is alive. It is sacred, and it will reveal more to you than any voice outside ever could. In silence, the veil between the seen and the unseen becomes thin, and through it, the universe speaks. Not in volume, but in vibration. Not in pressure, but in peace. And in that peace, you find what you were never really missing. Yourself. Whole, certain, guided, ready. The universe has a huge message for you, but it is not written in the stars or found in the noise of the world. It is encoded in your imagination, felt through your emotions, revealed in silence, and reflected back in your reality. You are not separate from this message. You are the message in motion. Everything you seek is already within you. You are the cause, the center, the dreamer. Your assumptions, your feelings, your inner conversations, they are not passive. They are the blueprint of your world. Stop chasing, stop waiting, and stop looking outside. Go within. Assume boldly, feel fully, create intentionally, and trust that the unseen forces are already at work, responding to the state you occupy. The universe is not holding back. It is waiting for you to remember who you truly are. Now walk forward not as one hoping to receive, but as one who knows it is already done. Thank you.
In a world where distractions abound, where every voice beckons you in 1,000 directions, you must learn the sacred art of focus. Time is the silent witness to every choice you make, the unseen current guiding you either towards your purpose or away from it. Each second that slips from your grasp is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, one you can never reclaim. Imagine each day as a blank canvas spread out before you, untouched, waiting for you to choose the colors and strokes that will give it life. Every decision, every action, every thought is a stroke on that canvas. While it may feel at times like circumstances and external forces are painting it for you, the reality is that it's always you holding the brush. You are the artist of your existence, crafting a masterpiece with each moment you live. This awareness alone is powerful, but it is also a responsibility. You must recognize that the painting before you at the end of each day is uniquely yours. No one else is responsible for its colors, its shapes, or the beauty it holds. You, and only you, can bring it into full expression. Often we let others make their marks on our canvas, as if it were theirs to control. In small ways, through distractions, expectations, or demands, we give up bits and pieces of our creative power. We yield to the thoughts, opinions, or judgments of others, allowing their influence to seep into the image of who we believe we should be. These influences are subtle, often invisible, yet each one leaves its mark, taking up space on the canvas that was meant for something else. To reclaim your creativity, your voice, and your vision, you must first acknowledge that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Every artist knows that when they create for themselves, from their own passion and vision, their work is more powerful, more alive, and more genuine. Each choice you make, no matter how small, is a stroke of paint, adding either beauty, harmony, or chaos to the whole. There will be mistakes, there will be colors that perhaps didn't fit, strokes that felt off balance. Yet these are not failures. They are part of the learning, the growth, the evolution of your skill as an artist of your life. Imagine a painter who never allows themselves the freedom to make errors. Their canvas would be stiff, lifeless, constrained by fear. Likewise, when you give yourself the grace to experiment, to try, to learn from what doesn't work, your life opens up, becoming rich, vibrant, and real. Mistakes are merely lessons in disguise, teaching you what resonates with your spirit and what doesn't. It's easy to forget that the colors on your canvas can be chosen intentionally. Some live their lives as though they have only one color, painting day after day in monotonous shades without realizing they can reach for any hue, any shade. If you're feeling the grayness of routine or the dullness of conformity, it may be because you haven't given yourself permission to explore the full palette that life offers. Creativity, joy, peace, love, these colors are as available to you as stress, worry, or doubt. The choice, however, lies in what you reach for. Each time you choose a joyful thought, a kind action, or a moment of reflection, you are adding depth and richness to your life's artwork. You begin to paint with a bolder hand, unafraid of where each stroke will take you, because you know that, in the end, it will all come together. The most powerful artists are those who understand that their work is a reflection of their inner world. When you focus on cultivating a sense of purpose, on finding peace within, or on growing your resilience, this inner work translates onto the canvas of your life in ways you may not even realize. Suddenly, the challenges that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, even beautiful, as they are woven into the greater picture you are creating. As you deepen your understanding of yourself, your vision for your life sharpens, allowing you to paint with clarity, confidence, and grace. But remember, there is no rush. Every artist works in their own time. A masterpiece is not created in a day. Some strokes are broad, sweeping gestures, filling large portions of the canvas with bold intention. Others are delicate, detailed, and may seem insignificant until you step back and realize how they bring the entire picture together. Life, like art, requires both the bold and the subtle, the grand gestures and the quiet moments. The path of your creation is not one of haste but of mindful, patient dedication to each moment, knowing that every brushstroke has its purpose. If you find yourself staring at the canvas, unsure of what to add next or fearful of making the wrong mark, take a step back. Remind yourself that this is your work, your creation, and only you know what belongs here. Trust in your instincts, your dreams, your inner vision. The beauty of art is that there are no right or wrong choices, only expression. As you let go of self-doubt and embrace the flow, your life will reflect this liberation, growing more vibrant with each courageous choice you make. As you walk through each day, consider how you are adding to the masterpiece of your life. Are your actions, thoughts, and beliefs adding colors you are proud of? Or are they muddying the picture with uncertainty, conformity, or fear? Begin to practice intention, even in the smallest choices. These are the brushstrokes that will make up the masterpiece of your life. When you focus on the beauty of each moment and bring your full self into each decision, the world you create is one that resonates with your highest vision. And one day, when you step back to view the whole, you'll find a life that tells a story of courage, love, strength, and growth. This masterpiece, your masterpiece, will be uniquely yours, vibrant and alive with the colors you chose, the vision you nurtured, and the courage you cultivated. In the end, no other canvas will compare, because no other life could ever capture the essence of who you are quite like the one you chose to paint. The journey of self-mastery is one of the most rewarding paths you can take, for it leads to a life of true fulfillment, grounded not in the opinions or approval of others, but in a deep, unwavering sense of your own worth. So many of us, knowingly or unknowingly, become entangled in a world of external validation, seeking reassurance and acceptance from others as if they alone hold the key to our value. But self-mastery is about breaking free from this dependency, stepping into a state where your sense of self is no longer swayed by outside influences. It is about finding a place within where your worth, decisions, and sense of purpose are anchored in something unshakable, your inner being. When we live for external validation, our lives become a reflection of others' expectations rather than our true desires. We may find ourselves adjusting our goals, our actions, even our personalities to align with what we think will please or impress those around us. Yet the paradox is that this quest for approval, for acceptance, is never fully satisfying. The standards set by others are often shifting, as is their attention and approval. Relying on external validation is like trying to fill a vessel that has no bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it can never be full. True self-mastery requires stepping away from this empty pursuit, choosing instead to invest your energy in building a solid foundation of self-worth that is unaffected by outside voices. Self-mastery begins with a commitment to knowing oneself on a deeper level. This process is not always comfortable, as it requires honesty and self-reflection. You must look within and ask, who am I when no one is watching? What do I truly value, desire, and believe? It may mean stripping away layers of societal conditioning, of beliefs and habits that were never yours to begin with, but were simply adopted out of a desire to fit in or be accepted. As you begin to connect with your core values, you establish an inner compass that guides you regardless of what others think or expect. This compass is built on principles that resonate deeply with who you are, not who others want you to be. One of the greatest benefits of self-mastery is the peace and freedom it brings. When you are no longer driven by the need to prove yourself to others, life becomes simpler and more fulfilling. You find joy in being authentic, in living by your own values, and in making choices that reflect your true self. You become less reactive, more composed, and less affected by external highs and lows. External circumstances no longer dictate your emotional state. Instead, your sense of fulfillment comes from within. You become like the eye of a storm, calm and centered, no matter what may be happening around you. Mastery also enhances your ability to make clear, confident decisions. When you live for external validation, your decisions are often clouded by what others might think. You may hesitate, overanalyze, or second-guess yourself, leading to indecision or regret. But when your decisions come from a place of inner alignment, you act with conviction and clarity. You trust yourself because you know that you are acting in alignment with your true values. This clarity not only reduces stress but also empowers you to take ownership of your life, knowing that each choice you make is a reflection of who you truly are, not of who others want you to be. Self-mastery is not about isolation or arrogance. It is about creating a healthy independence from others' opinions, a freedom to pursue your life without the constant need for reassurance. It means respecting yourself enough to honor your own perspective as deeply as you respect the views of others. This does not mean ignoring feedback or cutting yourself off from the world, but rather creating a space within yourself where feedback is received objectively, not as a judgment of your worth. In this space, you can weigh others' insights without allowing them to define you, using them as helpful tools rather than as measures of your value. Self-mastery over external validation is about living in alignment with your highest self. It's about realizing that you already possess everything you need within to be fulfilled, happy, and at peace. There is a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing that you are living true to yourself, regardless of the opinions that may surround you. The more you cultivate this inner strength, the less dependent you become on the fleeting and fickle approval of others. You come to see yourself as whole, worthy, and complete just as you are. The path of self-mastery is not always easy, but it is one of profound transformation. With each step, you grow stronger, more grounded, and more connected to your purpose. You learn to stand in your own light, finding a joy and confidence that come from within. And as you do, you not only free yourself from the limitations of external validation, but also inspire others to find their own path, to seek their own truth, and to honor the beauty of their unique existence. Inner focus begins with an understanding that attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Just as you would be cautious with where you invest your money, being mindful of where you invest your attention is essential to creating a life aligned with your deepest desires and aspirations. In every moment, your attention is either building you up or scattering your energy. When you focus your attention inward, you direct your energy toward your own growth and mastery, enhancing your ability to make decisions that support your well-being and long-term happiness. Another benefit of inner focus is the sharpening of your intuition. When you are constantly distracted, it's difficult to hear your inner voice, the quiet but steady guide that directs you toward what's best for you. Inner focus, however, allows you to tune into this voice, making it easier to make decisions that feel aligned with your true self. As you deepen your inner focus, you begin to trust yourself more, relying less on external advice and more on your own intuition. This does not mean disregarding others' opinions altogether, but it does mean prioritizing your own inner guidance above all else. One of the most potent ways to guard the gate of your mind is by filtering the information you consume. We live in a world where information is constantly bombarding us from all directions, and not all of it is beneficial. It's easy to get swept up in the sensationalism of news, the drama on social media, or the opinions of those around us. While staying informed is important, it's equally essential to discern what content nourishes you and what drains you. Consuming endless negative news, for instance, can lead to anxiety, stress, and a sense of helplessness. By selectively choosing sources of information that inspire, uplift, and educate you, you create a mental environment where positivity and growth can flourish. Another crucial aspect of guarding the gate of your mind is developing an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, helping you recognize and appreciate the positive aspects of your life. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you crowd out thoughts of fear, worry, and dissatisfaction. Over time, this mindset becomes a natural part of your thought process, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces inner peace and contentment. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you create a protective layer around your mind that makes it easier to handle challenges without being overwhelmed by negativity. Understand that guarding the gate of your mind is a lifelong practice, not a one-time effort. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise to prioritize your mental and emotional health over external pressures. This practice doesn't mean you shut out the world, it means you approach the world with discernment, choosing to let in only what serves your highest good. By protecting your inner space, you create a solid foundation upon which you can build a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and authentic to who you are. When you guard the gate of your mind, you take charge of your reality. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions, ultimately creating the life you experience. By curating the influences you allow in, you not only protect your peace, but also empower yourself to create a life that reflects your values, aspirations, and true potential. This isn't about perfection, but about progress, about consciously choosing what nurtures you rather than accepting whatever comes your way. By being the gatekeeper of your mind, you honor yourself, and in doing so, you create a life that is fully, beautifully your own. In life, we often carry dreams, aspirations, and visions for who we want to become and what we want to achieve. Yet, these visions remain elusive until we make a conscious decision to align with them fully. Aligning with your vision is more than just thinking about your goals. It's about committing to them deeply and intentionally in both thought and action. It's a journey of consistent self-reflection, disciplined action, and unwavering belief that what you desire is not only achievable but is already a part of who you are. The process of alignment transforms your vision from a distant dream into a living, breathing part of your reality. Alignment starts with clarity. To align with your vision, you first need to understand it fully. Many people have a vague sense of what they want in life, but without precise clarity, it's challenging to take effective steps forward. Clarity means knowing not only what you want to achieve, but also why it matters to you. It's the difference between wishing for success and deeply understanding what success looks like for you, how it feels, and why it's meaningful. To gain this clarity, spend time exploring your vision in detail. Write about it, visualize it, and allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with achieving it. The more vividly you define your vision, the more powerful your alignment with it will become, as it transforms from a concept into something you experience with all of your senses. Another important aspect of alignment is resilience. Pursuing a vision comes with its share of challenges and setbacks. It's natural to feel discouraged at times, but resilience allows you to maintain alignment even when the path is difficult. Resilience is about trusting in the process and recognizing that every setback is a stepping stone toward growth. Remember that alignment with your vision does not mean everything will always be easy or go as planned. Instead, it's about remaining anchored in your commitment, learning from obstacles, and adapting when necessary. By viewing setbacks as opportunities to refine your approach, you build the inner strength needed to stay on course. Belief is another cornerstone of alignment. Aligning with your vision requires an unwavering belief in its possibility. Doubt is natural, but it should not dominate your mindset. When you believe deeply in your vision, you make it more real and accessible in your mind, which influences your actions and, ultimately, your results. Belief acts as a powerful magnet, attracting the resources, people, and opportunities needed to bring your vision to life. Cultivating belief means trusting not only in your vision but also in yourself and your ability to achieve it. Surround yourself with inspiration, people who believe in you, and reminders of past successes to bolster your faith when doubt arises. One of the most profound parts of aligning with your vision is recognizing that it's a journey, not a destination. Alignment is an ongoing process that requires continual adjustment and growth. As you evolve, so too might your vision, and that's natural. Alignment doesn't mean rigidly sticking to a plan without flexibility. It means staying true to the essence of what you want to create while being open to new possibilities and insights. Each experience, each step along the way, contributes to the realization of your vision, allowing it to expand and adapt in ways that serve your highest good. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Alignment with your vision is about more than just reaching the end goal. It's about becoming the person who embodies that vision. Every step, every breakthrough, and every lesson learned is a sign that you are growing closer to your dream. Celebrate your progress, acknowledge your efforts, and allow yourself to feel gratitude for the journey itself. Celebrating these moments reinforces your commitment, fuels your motivation, and keeps your alignment strong. When you align with your vision, you are committing to a life of purpose, intention, and authenticity. You are choosing to live each day in harmony with your highest aspirations, becoming the creator of your reality. Alignment is a powerful force that propels you forward, guiding your choices, your actions, and your thoughts toward the life you desire. By cultivating clarity, making intentional choices, taking consistent action, and nurturing a resilient, belief-filled mindset, you create the conditions for your vision to come to life. This alignment brings with it a deep sense of fulfillment as you watch your dreams unfold and realize that the journey itself was just as meaningful as the destination. Every choice we make is, in essence, an investment. Each decision directs our time, energy, and resources toward a particular outcome, and in this way shapes our lives, our future, and who we become. Whether the choice seems small or life-changing, each one accumulates over time, impacting our personal growth, relationships, finances, and overall well-being. Just as financial investments require careful consideration to yield the best returns, so do the choices we make in every area of our lives. Recognizing that every choice is an investment empowers us to act with purpose and mindfulness, helping us build a life that reflects our values and aspirations. Understanding choices as investments starts with seeing the intrinsic value of time and energy. Time is a finite resource, one that we cannot get back once spent. This makes every moment precious. Similarly, our energy, both physical and mental, has limits, and how we spend it directly impacts our ability to pursue our goals and maintain our well-being. When we view choices through this lens, we begin to understand that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to something else. Deciding to stay up late to finish a project, for example, may lead to reduced energy and focus the next day. Conversely, choosing to prioritize rest and self-care can recharge us, making us more effective and present in our responsibilities. Seeing choices as investments also encourages us to consider their potential long-term effects. Instant gratification is a powerful motivator, but it's often the choices that require patience and discipline that yield the most significant returns. Imagine a student choosing between studying for an important exam and going out with friends. The immediate reward of socializing may be tempting, but the long-term investment of studying may lead to better grades, more opportunities, and greater personal fulfillment. Similarly, investing in relationships, skills, or health habits might not yield visible results immediately, but they contribute significantly to our future quality of life. Financial decisions offer another clear example of how choices serve as investments. Every purchase we make, every savings habit we form, and every financial risk we take contributes to our financial stability, security, or strain. Small, consistent choices like setting aside a portion of income each month or avoiding impulse purchases can accumulate to create financial freedom over time. Alternatively, choosing to spend beyond our means can lead to debt, stress, and limited choices in the future. By treating financial decisions as investments, we cultivate a mindset that values foresight, discipline, and long-term planning, which helps us build a stable and fulfilling life. Relationships also reflect the investment of our choices. The people we surround ourselves with influence our mindset, beliefs, and overall happiness. Choosing to invest time in people who support and inspire us can create a network of relationships that encourage personal growth and emotional well-being. On the other hand, investing in relationships that drain us, breed negativity, or prevent us from becoming our best selves can be costly to our happiness and mental health. By choosing relationships carefully and prioritizing those that align with our values and goals, we create an environment that nurtures us, reinforcing our commitment to the life we want to build. Career choices also highlight the principle that every choice is an investment. How we approach our work, the skills we develop, and the effort we put into our professional lives shape our career trajectory. Committing to continuous learning and seeking opportunities for growth, for example, is an investment in our future success and adaptability in an ever-changing job market. Choosing to work with integrity and enthusiasm creates a reputation that can open doors to new opportunities, while decisions to settle for comfort over growth can limit our potential. Viewing our career choices as investments encourages us to act with ambition, commitment, and vision, helping us create a fulfilling professional life. Making choices as investments also involves personal development. Each decision to learn, grow, or expand our horizons builds upon our character and capabilities. Investing time in reading, practicing mindfulness, or cultivating a skill enriches our inner lives and strengthens our ability to handle life's challenges. When we choose activities that challenge us or require perseverance, we build resilience, confidence, and a sense of purpose. Conversely, choosing to remain in our comfort zones may feel safe, but it often leads to stagnation and missed opportunities for growth. By investing in ourselves, we unlock the potential to live a richer, more meaningful life. Every choice as an investment emphasizes the importance of living intentionally. When we're mindful of our decisions, we act from a place of clarity and purpose, rather than passively reacting to circumstances. Intentional choices align with our core values and goals, giving us a sense of direction and fulfillment. They enable us to look back on our lives with the satisfaction of knowing that we lived with purpose, crafting a life that genuinely reflects who we are. This is the power of understanding each choice as an investment. It guides us toward a life of fulfillment, built not by chance, but by the accumulation of wise, thoughtful decisions. Every choice we make has an impact, whether immediate or delayed. By approaching each decision as an investment, we invite greater awareness and responsibility into our lives, making it possible to create a future that we desire. We cultivate our time, energy, and resources carefully, mindful that each choice contributes to our present and future self. While we cannot control every outcome, we can choose to act with purpose and integrity, knowing that each choice moves us closer to the person we aspire to become. In treating life as a series of investments, we transform our actions from mere reactions into conscious steps toward a meaningful, empowered existence. In the journey of life, recognizing that every choice we make is an investment allows us to live with intention and purpose. Each decision, no matter how small, contributes to the life we're building, shaping our relationships, health, career, finances, and personal growth. By treating our choices with care, we align our actions with our values and long-term vision, creating a fulfilling life crafted through conscious effort and commitment. When we invest thoughtfully in our present, we pave the way to a future that truly reflects who we are and what we aspire to be. Life becomes a mosaic of deliberate choices, each one adding depth and color to the bigger picture of who we are becoming. So let us approach our choices with awareness, investing in our dreams and values with every step. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to reflect on the power of choice in your life. To climb the ladder is not merely to ascend, step by step, in the outer world. It is instead a journey that begins within you, in the realm of imagination and unshakable belief. In life, the journey toward any goal begins with a vision of the destination. This vision isn't simply a vague hope or wish. It must be a clear, vivid picture in your mind. To reach a destination, it must be unmistakably present in your imagination, as real as the world around you, and more solid than anything the physical world might suggest. Most people drift through life without an exact destination. They move aimlessly, pulled by whatever forces surround them, reacting to the currents of daily life rather than steering a course. To climb any ladder of achievement, you must step out of this reactionary approach and decide, with precise intention, exactly where you wish to go. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Before any sculpting begins, there is a clear image in the mind of the artist. The finished form exists already in imagination before the first tool touches the stone. In the same way, your destination must be clear and complete in your mind before you begin your journey. You don't need to know every detail about how you will reach your goal, or even how the shape of your journey will unfold. But you must have a vision of what your destination looks and feels like. In the realm of personal transformation, clarity of desire is essential. When you know where you want to be, your inner world begins to align with this vision, sending forth the signals that bring your goal into reality. Knowing your destination is not just an intellectual process, it is a full-bodied experience. When you decide on your destination, feel it deeply within you. Visualize it with such intensity that you can see, touch, and experience it internally. This internal clarity aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious desire, directing all of your mental and emotional resources toward that one end. If your destination remains cloudy or undefined, the journey itself will mirror this lack of focus. Life's currents will push and pull you, and without a clear destination, you may find yourself adrift, unsure of where you're headed. Imagine your destination as already attained, for in the realm of thought, time does not bind you. Picture the life you wish to live as if it were happening now. When you do this, you're not deceiving yourself, you're activating one of the most potent forces in existence, the power of imagination. The mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is actually happening. It responds to both with equal commitment. When you hold a clear image of your destination in your mind, your actions, choices, and responses to the world naturally shift to reflect that vision. It's as though the destination calls you forward, guiding you effortlessly along the path. Consider the mind as a magnetic field. It pulls into your life experiences, opportunities, and people that align with your dominant thoughts and desires. A clear destination serves as the magnet that attracts everything needed to bring it into reality. Each day, visualize this destination, returning to it in your mind until it feels as natural as the present moment. This practice strengthens the power of your destination to draw you forward, making the journey smoother and filled with opportunities you may have never seen otherwise. When your destination is clear, obstacles lose their power to deter you. Challenges arise for everyone, but those with a well-defined goal see each challenge as a step closer to fulfillment rather than a hindrance. This clarity allows you to interpret difficulties as lessons, as ways of refining your skills, your patience, or your determination. Every rung on the ladder, no matter how difficult, has a purpose when the destination is firmly in mind. With clarity, you gain a resilience that those without a defined goal rarely experience. You are not easily swayed or discouraged, for the image of your destination burns brightly within you, even in the face of setbacks. Furthermore, a clear destination allows you to act with intention. When you know where you're going, you don't waste time or energy on pursuits that don't serve your purpose. You have a sense of direction, a clarity that guides your actions and decisions. But instead of scattering your energy, you are able to focus it entirely on that which moves you closer to your goal. Even small steps become meaningful when they are directed toward a specific end. Life becomes purposeful, and each moment feels valuable because it is part of a larger journey. There's a subtle but powerful shift that happens within when your destination is clear. The future becomes part of your present reality. You no longer see yourself as someone striving to achieve something distant. Rather, you see yourself as someone who already embodies the qualities and attributes of your goal. Your destination is not a separate entity you're pursuing, it is an extension of who you are becoming. In this way, you grow into the person who belongs at the top of the ladder, making the journey less of a struggle and more of a natural progression toward what is already yours in consciousness. It's easy to be distracted by life's demands and to let your focus blur. That's why it's essential to revisit your destination regularly, reinforcing it in your mind. Each day, spend time visualizing your goal, strengthening its presence in your thoughts. Remind yourself why this destination matters to you, what it will mean for your life, and who you will become as you reach it. Let your heart and mind grow accustomed to this image, so it becomes part of your identity. This practice not only keeps your goal alive within you, but also fuels the energy needed to make it a reality. Clarity of destination is a powerful force, shaping not only your actions but your entire way of being. It gives you purpose, aligns your thoughts, and brings focus to your daily life. With a clear destination, you are no longer merely climbing, you are ascending towards something meaningful, something that resonates with the deepest parts of you. In knowing where you wish to go, you summon the courage, resilience, and wisdom to make the journey. You are climbing the ladder not with blind ambition, but with a steady, unwavering vision that lights your path and draws you upward. This clarity is the seed from which your success grows, and it is in every way the first step to achieving your dreams. Living in the feeling of your desire is about creating an inner reality so vivid that it feels as real as your present surroundings. The essence of this approach is to bridge the gap between wanting something and experiencing it as though it already exists in your life. Many people think of their desires as distant, often feeling the lack of them rather than their presence. Yet, to truly bring a desire to life, one must learn to embody its feeling as a present experience, allowing it to permeate one's thoughts, emotions, and responses to life. Imagine for a moment the specific desire you hold. Rather than seeing it as something out there as an object to reach for, picture yourself already in the situation you wish to create. Close your eyes and fill your mind with the sensory experiences that would surround you. What do you see? What do you hear? How does it feel? By immersing yourself in these imagined details, you can bring the experience into your present moment. This exercise is not mere daydreaming, it is the art of conditioning your mind and body to resonate with the frequency of your desire. The mind responds to vivid, emotionally charged images, and as you continually impress these feelings upon yourself, they begin to shape your external reality. In the feeling of your desire means that internally you cease to wait for something to happen. Instead, you allow yourself to experience the satisfaction of having what you seek. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, consider how you would carry yourself if you already lived in a state of wealth. How would you speak, act, and feel if abundance were a natural part of your life? Adopting these internal states does more than just make you feel good temporarily, it shifts your entire mental atmosphere, aligning you with the experiences and opportunities that match this vibration. The body and mind don't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual one. When you hold the feeling of your desire as if it's happening now, your subconscious mind begins to adjust itself to this new state. Over time, this inner alignment influences your beliefs, which in turn affect your actions. Every action you take becomes infused with the confidence and energy of one who already possesses what they desire. This shift changes how you engage with the world, and in turn, how the world responds to you. Opportunities and circumstances start to arise that mirror the inner state you've cultivated. Living in the feeling of your desire also means releasing resistance. Often when we yearn for something, we're hyper-aware of its absence, which creates a barrier between us and our goal. When you place your focus on lack or on the idea that you must achieve something, you're in a state of wanting rather than possessing. However, by consciously practicing the feeling of fulfillment, you dissolve this resistance. You stop operating from a place of need, scarcity, or urgency. Instead, you are centered in a sense of completeness, radiating an assurance that the outer world eventually echoes back to you. This approach goes beyond traditional methods of hard work or struggle. It teaches that transformation comes from within, from aligning with your desire internally rather than forcing external changes. Effort is not disregarded, but it is guided by a powerful, calm assurance rather than fear or insecurity. Actions taken from this place of inner certainty are more effective, as they are rooted in authenticity and purpose rather than desperation. When you live in the feeling of your desire, effort becomes inspired rather than strained, as your actions stem from a vision that feels inevitable. This way of being is a practice of faith in your imagination, in the power of your consciousness to bring about the reality you envision. Living in the feeling of your desire requires a belief in the unseen, in the notion that your thoughts and emotions are powerful forces shaping your world. By consistently returning to this inner feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen your connection to your desire, allowing it to mature and manifest at the right moment. This process is not rushed, it is nurtured, like a seed that grows in its own time. Trusting in this rhythm brings a peace that outlasts the fleeting excitement of immediate results. Living in this feeling transforms how you view obstacles. If your inner world is shaped by the sensation of already having your desire, then challenges lose their power to deter you. You view setbacks not as signs of failure but as part of the unfolding process. Each obstacle is a chance to strengthen your vision, to affirm your commitment to the feeling of your desire, and to deepen your belief. The confidence you cultivate through this practice helps you remain resilient, undeterred by the fluctuations of external circumstances. To live in the feeling of your desire is also a radical act of self-love. It means that you allow yourself to experience joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment now, rather than deferring these states to some future condition. You are not waiting for life to grant you happiness, you are choosing to embody it, knowing that this choice creates your world. When you embrace the feeling of your desire, you give yourself permission to be whole, complete, and at peace in the present. This inner abundance then attracts outer manifestations of the same quality as light attracts like. In time, this practice of living in your desires feeling becomes a natural part of your existence. It is no longer an act of pretending but a deep alignment with the life you envision. Your relationships, your work, your environment all begin to reflect the fulfillment you carry within. People respond differently to you, opportunities come to you with greater ease. This is not coincidence, it is the outcome of a deliberate inner state that shapes the outer world in harmony with your desires. The power of living in the feeling of your desire lies in its simplicity and in its profound effect on your consciousness. It transcends conventional ideas of success and brings you into harmony with your authentic self. When you no longer look outward for proof of your worth, you liberate yourself from the conditions that once bound you. Instead, you create from a place of inner truth, knowing that the world will align with the fulfillment you have already embraced within. In this way, your journey becomes one of joyful realization, a path where your desires are not chased but welcomed, where you live as though your dreams are already true, because within you they are. When it comes to achieving a desire or manifesting a goal, one of the most challenging steps is learning to release the how. Many people get stuck trying to figure out precisely how their desire will come to fruition, meticulously planning every detail, analyzing each possible scenario, and worrying about the path they should take. This approach, however, often introduces doubt and restricts the natural flow of creation. To truly bring about what you seek, you must let go of the need to control the specific way it will arrive. This does not mean abandoning your goal or becoming passive. It means surrendering the detailed mechanics and trusting the process. The need to know how is a habit rooted in the mind's need for certainty. We naturally want to understand and control our experiences because it provides a sense of safety. But the path to any meaningful goal often involves an element of mystery, a series of events that we cannot predict in advance. When we cling to the need to know every step, we limit the possibilities for how our desire could manifest. Life has a way of bringing about our intentions in ways that are often surprising and better than we might have imagined. By fixating on a specific how, we close ourselves off from these unforeseen opportunities and limit the potential for something greater. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's sprouting or worry over how it's growing beneath the surface. You trust the natural process, knowing that with water, sunlight, and time, it will emerge in its own way. Similarly, when you set an intention, you must let it grow naturally without interference. Just as a plant grows according to its own design, your desire will unfold in alignment with the broader tapestry of life. When you release the how, you allow unseen forces to work on your behalf, aligning circumstances and resources that may be beyond your current awareness. Or the source of creation operates in ways we cannot always comprehend. It's like an orchestra where each instrument knows exactly when to play, creating a harmonious symphony. Your role is not to conduct the entire performance, but to remain centered in your desire and open to the cues that life provides. Trying to control the how is like insisting that each musician follow your specific timing, rather than allowing the natural flow of the music. Trusting in this orchestration allows you to be part of the process, rather than fighting against it. It frees you from the stress and mental strain of constant worry, allowing you to focus on nurturing the vision itself. By releasing the need to control the how, you step into a position of faith. Faith, in this sense, is not blind optimism, it's a deep understanding that the process of creation is intelligent and responsive. When you hold on to the how, you're essentially communicating doubt. You're saying, I don't believe this can happen unless I control every detail in contrast. When you release it, you signal a profound trust in the flow of life and the power of your own vision. This surrender empowers you to stay focused on the feeling of your desire rather than dispersing your energy in unnecessary worry. Another benefit of releasing the how is the ability to stay flexible and responsive to the unexpected. Life often brings us opportunities or resources that do not look like what we initially imagined. If we are too fixated on a single way for our desire to manifest, we may miss these subtle nudges. When you let go of rigid expectations, you become open to possibilities that are just as valid and sometimes more aligned with your purpose than anything you could have planned. You allow yourself to move with life, adapting and responding rather than trying to force your will upon it. This doesn't mean inaction or a lack of effort. Action is an essential part of the manifestation process. However, when you release the how, your actions become inspired rather than forced. Instead of taking steps driven by fear or control, you are led by intuition and clarity. You act because you feel drawn to certain things, people, or ideas, not because you feel pressured to make something happen. This shift makes your journey far more enjoyable, as each step becomes an exploration rather than a means to an end. Your actions are infused with the joy of creation, rather than the stress of achieving. Furthermore, releasing the how is an act of self-empowerment. When you believe you must figure out every detail, you diminish your own capacity to trust in yourself and the unfolding process of life. By releasing the need to control, you step into a mindset of abundance, knowing that what is meant for you will come in the right way and at the right time. This attitude removes the fear of missing out or failing. You understand that there is no need to scramble or force things because you trust in your ability to attract what you need. This sense of freedom ultimately creates a sense of inner peace. When you stop agonizing over the how, you liberate yourself from the stress and mental chatter that often come with overthinking. You can focus on the present moment, on the actions and choices that feel right now, without worrying about future outcomes. In this peaceful state, you become more receptive to inspiration and creativity, which often lead to precisely the answers or pathways you were seeking in the first place. Releasing the how allows you to enjoy the journey. You no longer see life as a series of hurdles to overcome, but rather as a flowing river that carries you forward. This doesn't mean you will never face challenges, but you learn to see each obstacle as part of the process rather than as something to control or fear. You cultivate resilience, knowing that you have the inner strength to navigate any situation. Trusting the flow of life frees you from attachment to specific outcomes and opens you to the beauty of unfolding possibilities. Releasing the how is an act of courage. It's a choice to trust in something larger than yourself, to allow life to guide you even when you cannot see the full path. It's an invitation to experience life as an adventure rather than a puzzle to solve. By holding your desire in mind with clarity and releasing the need to control every step, you align with a creative force that is far greater than your individual plans. You let life surprise you, moving beyond limitation and into a state of freedom, trust and ease. And in this place you discover that what you seek comes to you not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. To truly bring your desires to life, you must embody the identity of the person who already has what you want. This concept transcends mere wishful thinking, or visualization, it calls for a deep-rooted transformation in how you see yourself and how you relate to the world. Instead of seeing your desire as something outside of yourself, something you hope to achieve or possess in the future, embodying the identity means adopting the thoughts, behaviors, and energy of the person you aspire to become right here and now. Embodying the identity is about redefining your self-concept, which is the blueprint of your life. Every action, decision, and response you have stems from the way you perceive yourself. If you see yourself as someone struggling, someone who wants but does not yet have, that perception shapes your reality. However, when you shift to seeing yourself as someone who already embodies the qualities, experiences, and abundance you desire, you move in alignment with that reality. The world, then, begins to reflect this new self-concept back to you. This process starts with the mind, but it must go deeper than intellectual understanding. It requires you to change your mental habits, replacing old beliefs with new, empowering ones. Take time to ask yourself, what does this new identity think, feel, and believe? If your desire is to be successful in a specific field, what would your inner dialogue sound like if you were already established in that field? Would you worry about things that seem uncertain now, or would you trust in your own skills and abilities, knowing that you're capable of handling any challenge? The thoughts of the person who has achieved what you desire are likely different from those of the person still striving for it. By practicing these thoughts, you begin to cultivate the mindset necessary for your transformation. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, but choosing to shape it from the inside out. Each thought and belief is like a building block, constructing the foundation of your new identity. Consistently practicing these thoughts rewires your mind, so they become automatic, replacing doubt and fear with confidence and self-assuredness. In addition to changing your thoughts, you must also change your emotional state. Emotions have a powerful impact on your subconscious mind, which influences the experiences you attract. Consider the emotions of someone who already has what you seek. If your desire is a fulfilling relationship, for example, what would that person feel on a daily basis? Would they feel loved, valued, and appreciated? Practice embodying these emotions, not just once but regularly, so they become a natural part of your inner state. It may feel strange at first, but over time, embodying these emotions trains your subconscious mind to accept this new identity. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between actual experiences and vividly imagine once it responds to feelings and images you hold as if they were real. By aligning your emotional state with your desired reality, you shift into the frequency of that experience, attracting corresponding situations and people into your life. Equally important is to align your actions with your new identity. Imagine the behaviors and habits of the person who has achieved your goal. If you want to be a successful artist, how would you spend your days? What routines or disciplines would you adopt? Embodying the identity means not only thinking and feeling as if you already are this person, but also acting accordingly. This doesn't require you to make drastic changes all at once. Instead, it involves small, consistent actions that reinforce your desired self-concept. For instance, if your goal is financial abundance, start behaving in ways that reflect abundance, even if on a small scale. Invest in yourself, act with confidence, and avoid actions that reinforce scarcity. This might mean budgeting thoughtfully, but without a mindset of fear. Each action, however minor, contributes to a new self-concept, building momentum as you move forward. Over time, these small actions compound, and you find yourself living in alignment with the identity you once only envisioned. One of the most transformative aspects of embodying an identity is the ripple effect it has on other areas of your life. When you truly believe you are someone who achieves what they set out to do, this mindset affects everything you touch. You approach challenges differently, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than as obstacles. Relationships, work, health all begin to reflect the internal shifts you've made. By consistently embodying the identity of your ideal self, you start to attract experiences and people who resonate with this new version of you, creating a reality that mirrors your inner world. It is crucial to remain patient with yourself as you shift into this new identity. Changing your self-concept takes time and practice. There may be moments when old thoughts and doubts resurface, especially in the face of setbacks. However, remember that these are simply remnants of your former self. Instead of being discouraged, use these moments as opportunities to reaffirm your new identity. Acknowledge the old patterns without judgment, and then choose thoughts and actions aligned with the person you are becoming. This way, you continuously reinforce your new self-concept, even when external results may not yet fully reflect it. Another powerful tool for embodying your new identity is visualization. Spend time each day seeing yourself living the life you desire, fully immersing yourself in the details of that reality. Feel the joy, pride, or peace that comes with being the person you wish to be. Visualization, when practiced regularly, strengthens your connection to your desired self, making it easier to live in alignment with this identity in your daily life. This practice not only serves as a mental rehearsal but also deepens your commitment to your goal, helping you stay focused even when external circumstances seem unchanged. Embodying the identity of your future self is an act of self-creation. You are not passively waiting for life to change, you are actively shaping your reality from within. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the vision of your desired self, you build a foundation for lasting transformation. This journey is not about becoming someone else, it is about uncovering and nurturing the highest potential within you. You are giving life to the person you are meant to be, bringing your dreams into the realm of experience by first creating them in the inner landscape of your mind and heart. As you practice embodying this new identity, you begin to witness its impact in tangible ways. The outer world, like a mirror, reflects back the inner shifts you have made. Opportunities arise, people respond differently to you, and challenges seem less daunting. This is the power of embodying the identity of the person who already has what you desire. It's a powerful reminder that reality is shaped not by what we wish for, but by who we choose to be. Through your commitment to this transformation, you unlock a life that resonates with your truest aspirations, experiencing firsthand the boundless potential that was always within you. When it comes to manifesting our desires, we often fall into the habit of equating effort with progress. Society teaches us that hard work is the key to success, that pushing through obstacles with relentless effort is the only path to achieving our dreams. But in the process of creation, true power lies not in forceful exertion, but in unwavering faith. Persisting in faith rather than effort means cultivating a quiet, confident belief in the outcome, even when there is no tangible evidence of its arrival. This approach is grounded in a calm assurance that the reality we seek is already ours, a confidence that allows us to release the need for struggle and embrace a sense of inner certainty. To persist in faith, we must first understand that creation is a cooperative process with the universe, or with life itself. It's not something we force into existence, but something we allow to unfold. When we fixate on the how and obsessively labor to control every step, we close ourselves off from the natural flow of opportunities and insights that could lead us to our desires. It's as if we are trying to control the course of a river with our hands instead of trusting it to carry us forward. Faith is what allows us to trust in this unseen power and let go of the need to manipulate outcomes. It's a choice to believe that life has our back, that the answers will come, and that everything is aligning perfectly even if we cannot yet see the path. This doesn't mean that action isn't part of the process, it's essential. But action taken from a place of faith is different from action driven by doubt or fear. When we act out of faith, our actions feel inspired, joyful, and intuitive, not forced or frantic. We take steps because we feel naturally drawn to them, not because we think we must strain and toil to make things happen. Faithful action is accompanied by a sense of inner calm and clarity, knowing that each step is part of a larger, unfolding plan. It feels light, not burdensome. When we persist in faith, we do what is needed without trying to control every detail, releasing the need for outcomes to arrive on a strict timetable. Persisting in faith also requires a deep trust in the timing of events. Often we push and strive because we feel a sense of urgency and impatience for our desires to manifest. This impatience is rooted in the belief that our happiness or worth is tied to achieving a particular result. But when we operate from a place of faith, we learn to trust that everything unfolds in its own time, that the journey is just as valuable as the destination. That each delay, each challenge, each moment of stillness is an essential part of the process, designed to prepare us, strengthen us, or redirect us in ways we might not initially understand. Faith reminds us that timing is never wrong, and that a temporary pause doesn't mean failure, but often a necessary pause for growth or alignment. Faith also helps us to remain resilient in the face of setbacks. Without faith, every obstacle feels like a threat to our dream. Every delay feels like a failure. But with faith, we see these challenges as part of a larger picture, often guiding us to something even greater than what we originally envisioned. Instead of viewing setbacks as signs to give up, we can see them as invitations to deepen our belief in the process. When we encounter resistance, we don't need to fight it with force. Instead, we lean into our faith, knowing that each challenge has something to teach us. This resilience transforms setbacks from discouragements into stepping stones, each one bringing us closer to our goal. Persisting in faith means cultivating a sense of gratitude for what is already unfolding. Gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance, from impatience to appreciation. It allows us to see the progress we're making, even if it seems small. When we're grateful for each step, each experience, we build momentum and create a fertile environment for our desires to take root. Faith and gratitude go hand in hand, as gratitude reinforces our belief that we are on the right path and that everything is unfolding perfectly. By focusing on what we already have, we cultivate an inner richness that attracts more of what we desire, reinforcing our faith in the process. An essential part of persisting in faith is maintaining a vision of the outcome, feeling as if our desire is already realized. This vision acts as an anchor, reminding us why we began and keeping us connected to our dream. But instead of holding this vision with a sense of yearning or desperation, we hold it with quiet confidence, embodying the feeling of already having it. This feeling doesn't just create a mental image, it resonates on a deeper level, aligning us emotionally with our desire. When we feel the joy, peace, or fulfillment that comes with realizing our dream, we naturally align with it. Our faith becomes a steady presence, not a hope, but a knowing that what we desire is already on its way. It's important to note that faith is an active practice, something we must choose daily. Our minds will inevitably present doubts, fears, or old patterns of thinking, especially when external circumstances seem unfavorable. But each time we choose faith over fear, we strengthen our belief. Faith grows in the face of doubt, not by avoiding it, but by acknowledging it and choosing to believe in a greater reality. This practice builds resilience, allowing us to stay steady and grounded even when things seem uncertain. It's a gentle reminder that while we may not see the full picture, we can trust that it's unfolding beautifully. In persisting in faith, rather than effort, we experience a profound sense of freedom. We're no longer burdened by the weight of needing to control every outcome or having to make things happen. Instead, we live from a place of trust and ease, knowing that our role is to align with our vision and take inspired actions, but not to force or manipulate reality. This approach frees us from stress and anxiety, allowing us to enjoy the journey rather than focusing solely on the destination. When we release the need for relentless effort, we align ourselves with a natural flow that is both supportive and sustaining. Persisting in faith transforms not only our external reality but our inner state. It brings a sense of peace and wholeness that no amount of effort can provide. It allows us to live with a quiet confidence, grounded in the assurance that everything is as it should be, and that what is meant for us will not pass us by. Through faith, we transcend the limitations of our circumstances and step into a life of possibility, joy, and fulfillment. We become not just seekers but creators, shaping our reality from a foundation of trust, allowing our desires to manifest in the most perfect way and in the most perfect time. Staying aligned with gratitude is not just about occasional expressions of thanks. It's about cultivating a deep, sustained state of appreciation that permeates your entire being. Gratitude is a powerful tool that aligns you with the energy of abundance, love, and fulfillment. When you embrace gratitude as a way of life, you tap into a frequency that attracts more of what you value and appreciate. This is because gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from what you don't have to what you do, creating a magnetic pull that brings more blessings and opportunities into your life. At its core, gratitude is the recognition of the good that is already present. Often we tend to fixate on what we want to achieve, acquire, or become, believing that only when we reach a certain goal will we feel satisfied. But in reality, this mindset keeps us in a perpetual state of waiting, making happiness conditional on external circumstances. Gratitude, however, grounds us in the present moment, teaching us that joy is available to us here and now. It shifts our attention from the future or the past to the present, helping us appreciate each moment as it unfolds. By consistently practicing gratitude, you begin to realize that abundance is not merely a material concept, it is a state of mind. When you are grateful, you recognize the richness of your life, whether it is in relationships, health, opportunities, or even the small moments of peace and contentment. This mental shift from scarcity to abundance empowers you to see life's challenges differently. You stop viewing obstacles as setbacks, and instead you begin to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Gratitude allows you to find value in all experiences, positive or negative, understanding that each one contributes to your journey. Living in gratitude doesn't mean ignoring challenges or denying pain. It means choosing to focus on what you can appreciate, even in the midst of difficulties. Every situation, no matter how challenging, holds within it an opportunity to find something to be thankful for, whether it's the strength you gain, the lessons you learn, or the resilience you build. This mindset transforms how you interact with life, helping you to stay hopeful and focused even when things aren't going exactly as planned. Gratitude allows you to face challenges with a sense of grace, knowing that every experience has a purpose, even if it's not immediately apparent. When you stay aligned with gratitude, you develop a resilience that isn't easily shaken by external circumstances. Instead of reacting to life from a place of fear, worry, or frustration, you respond from a place of peace and trust. Gratitude helps you build a foundation of inner stability, a place within yourself where you can return whenever life feels overwhelming or uncertain. This inner peace is not contingent on things going your way, rather, it's a result of your decision to find value and beauty in what is already present in your life. By focusing on the good, you are creating a mental environment where more good can grow. One of the most profound effects of gratitude is how it strengthens your connection with others. When you're grateful, you naturally radiate positive energy, which makes you more approachable, warm, and supportive. People are drawn to those who live in gratitude because they feel uplifted by their presence. Relationships become more harmonious because gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. You start to appreciate the people in your life for who they are, rather than for what they can give you, creating a deeper, more genuine connection with them. Gratitude also brings about a heightened awareness of life's simple pleasures. Too often we overlook the small moments that make life beautiful: a sunset, a warm cup of tea, a kind gesture from a friend. By staying aligned with gratitude, you train yourself to notice and savor these moments. You realize that happiness doesn't have to be grand or monumental. It can be found in the ordinary, in the moments that often go unnoticed. This awareness enriches your experience of life, filling it with moments of joy and contentment that might otherwise have been missed. Practicing gratitude daily reinforces this state of alignment. Start each day by reflecting on a few things you are grateful for. These don't have to be major accomplishments. They can be as simple as a good night's sleep, a meaningful conversation, or the ability to breathe and move. When you make this practice a habit, it becomes a way of grounding yourself before the demands of the day take over. You carry this energy of gratitude with you, influencing how you react to events, interact with others, and approach challenges. By consciously setting an intention to be grateful, you create a foundation for a positive and abundant mindset throughout the day. Gratitude also has a powerful effect on your ability to manifest your desires. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you are essentially affirming that your needs are met, that you are content and fulfilled. This vibration of abundance attracts more abundance. The universe responds to the energy you emit, so by staying in a state of gratitude, you align yourself with more of what you desire. Instead of approaching life from a sense of lack or yearning, you operate from a place of fulfillment, which naturally draws in experiences that match this energy. Beyond the emotional and psychological benefits, gratitude also positively impacts your physical health. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience lower levels of stress, better sleep quality, and a stronger immune system. When you align yourself with gratitude, you're not only nourishing your spirit, but also supporting your body's well-being. This is a reflection of the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. When one aspect thrives, it has a ripple effect on the others. Living in gratitude, therefore, is a holistic practice that enhances every dimension of your life. To truly stay aligned with gratitude, it's important to make it a consistent practice rather than a fleeting feeling. Gratitude is not a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. It's a choice you make repeatedly, in big moments and in small ones. It's deciding to see life through the lens of appreciation, even on days when it feels difficult. By embedding gratitude into your daily routine through journaling, meditation, or simply taking a few moments each day to reflect on your blessings, you cultivate a mindset that becomes second nature. With time, gratitude becomes a part of who you are, not just something you do. Staying aligned with gratitude means choosing to live from a place of abundance, love, and appreciation. It transforms your inner world, shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have, from dissatisfaction to fulfillment. This internal shift then reflects in your external reality, attracting more of what resonates with this positive, grateful state of mind. By aligning yourself with gratitude, you align yourself with the flow of life itself, opening the doors to joy, peace, and the limitless possibilities that come from a heart that sees beauty in all things. Life is filled with moments of challenge, obstacles that appear suddenly, testing our resolve and forcing us to rethink our approach. But these obstacles are not blocks meant to stop us, they are opportunities in disguise, carrying valuable lessons and insights that can propel us forward. When we learn to view obstacles as stepping stones rather than barriers, we cultivate resilience, develop inner strength, and open ourselves to new perspectives. Transforming obstacles into stepping stones is about shifting our mindset and embracing the growth that each challenge brings. The first step in transforming obstacles is to change how we perceive them. Society often teaches us to see difficulties as setbacks, as signs that something has gone wrong. Yet in truth, obstacles are simply experiences that hold the potential to shape and strengthen us. When we adopt this perspective, we begin to see that every setback is actually setting us up for a breakthrough. Instead of feeling defeated by challenges, we approach them with curiosity, asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can this experience contribute to my growth? This shift in perception allows us to find purpose in even the most challenging moments. We realize that obstacles can serve as powerful teachers, revealing areas within ourselves that need attention or healing. For instance, if we face repeated difficulties in relationships, it may be an invitation to look inward and address unresolved patterns, insecurities, or communication skills. If we encounter financial setbacks, it might be an opportunity to develop financial wisdom, patience, or resilience. Each obstacle holds within it the seed of transformation, inviting us to explore parts of ourselves we might not have otherwise discovered. Another essential aspect of turning obstacles into stepping stones is cultivating resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from difficulties, to keep moving forward despite setbacks. When we view obstacles as temporary and surmountable, we naturally strengthen our resilience. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring our pain or pretending challenges don't affect us. Instead, it's about facing those challenges, allowing ourselves to feel what we need to feel, and then choosing to rise again. Through resilience, we learn that we are stronger than any external circumstance, and that our capacity to overcome is greater than we might have previously realized. One of the most powerful ways to transform obstacles is by finding the lesson within them. Every difficulty carries a lesson, a nugget of wisdom that, once uncovered, can change the way we approach similar situations in the future. Obstacles push us to expand our knowledge, build new skills, and sharpen our judgment. They teach us patience, adaptability, and perseverance. By actively looking for the lesson in each challenge, we not only gain valuable insights, but also reduce the likelihood of repeating the same mistakes. Each lesson learned becomes a stepping stone, lifting us to a higher level of understanding and capability. Obstacles can act as redirections, guiding us toward paths we may not have considered. Sometimes, when a door closes, it's because a better one is waiting to be opened. Obstacles have a way of pushing us out of our comfort zones, forcing us to think creatively and adapt. They can lead us to new opportunities, relationships, and insights that we wouldn't have discovered had we stayed on our original course. When we embrace obstacles as redirections, we become more flexible, willing to explore alternative paths without feeling defeated or discouraged. Developing a positive mindset is key to turning obstacles into stepping stones. It's easy to become discouraged and pessimistic when faced with repeated challenges, but maintaining a positive outlook helps us see beyond the immediate difficulty. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. Rather, it's about choosing to focus on potential solutions and remaining hopeful about the outcome. When we approach obstacles with optimism, we're more likely to find creative ways around them. Optimism fuels motivation, giving us the energy to keep going, even when the path seems unclear. Self-reflection is another powerful tool in transforming obstacles. Challenges often reveal parts of ourselves that we may not be fully aware of: our fears, limitations, or self-doubt. By taking the time to reflect on how we respond to obstacles, we gain valuable insights into our inner world. Perhaps an obstacle triggers a fear of failure, or maybe it highlights an area where we feel insecure. Recognizing these patterns allows us to work on them, ultimately making us more confident and self-aware. Each obstacle then becomes a stepping stone toward greater self-knowledge and self-mastery. Taking inspired action is essential in turning obstacles into opportunities. It's easy to feel paralyzed by difficulties, to wait passively for circumstances to change. But obstacles call for action, for stepping forward in courage, even if we don't have all the answers. Inspired action means moving forward with purpose, trusting that each step will bring us closer to overcoming the challenge. It might mean seeking guidance, developing new skills, or simply persevering with determination. When we take action with faith and intention, we demonstrate to ourselves that we are capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Support from others can also play a significant role in transforming obstacles. Often, challenges can feel overwhelming when faced alone. Reaching out to friends, mentors, or support groups can provide fresh perspectives and encouragement. Sometimes, simply talking through a problem with someone we trust can reveal solutions we hadn't considered. Support from others can remind us that we are not alone, that others have faced similar challenges and emerged stronger. In this way, obstacles can foster connection, bringing people together and allowing us to benefit from the shared wisdom of others. Gratitude is a transformative practice that can turn even the most daunting obstacles into stepping stones. When we approach challenges with gratitude, we acknowledge the growth they bring, the strength they help us build, and the lessons they teach. Gratitude allows us to see that every experience, pleasant or difficult, contributes to our journey in meaningful ways. By finding something to be grateful for in each challenge, we shift our focus from what we've lost to what we're gaining, from setbacks to opportunities. Gratitude helps us maintain a balanced perspective, reminding us that life's challenges are temporary, and that ultimately they serve our highest good. In transforming obstacles into stepping stones, we cultivate a mindset that sees possibility rather than limitation, growth rather than defeat. We develop resilience, embrace learning, and become open to redirections. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to deepen our self-awareness, build our inner strength, and expand our understanding. By embracing this approach, we not only navigate life's difficulties with greater ease, but also emerge from each challenge wiser, stronger, and more equipped to face whatever lies ahead. The path may not always be smooth, but with each step, we turn obstacles into the very foundation upon which we build our greatest successes. Detachment from immediate outcomes is a transformative mindset, one that enables us to pursue our goals with a sense of peace and unwavering trust, regardless of how things unfold in the moment. This approach isn't about abandoning ambition or caring less about what we desire instead. It's about releasing the need for instant gratification and learning to trust that everything will unfold at the right time and in the right way. When we detach from immediate outcomes, we free ourselves from the emotional turbulence that comes from trying to control what is inherently beyond our control, allowing us to focus more deeply on the journey rather than fixating on the destination. The desire for immediate results is deeply ingrained in modern life, where quick rewards and rapid progress are often seen as signs of success. We are taught to value outcomes, to measure our worth by accomplishments, and to seek validation through tangible achievements. However, this fixation on immediate results can create unnecessary stress, anxiety, and disappointment. When we tie our happiness and self-worth to the swift realization of our desires, we set ourselves up for a roller coaster of emotions, constantly fluctuating between hope and despair, depending on whether things are going our way. Detaching from immediate outcomes liberates us from this cycle, enabling us to approach life's challenges with greater calm and resilience. A key aspect of detachment is understanding that the journey itself holds immense value, independent of the end result. Every step we take, every effort we put forth, and every challenge we face contribute to our growth and learning. When we place our focus on the process rather than obsessing over the outcome, we become more present, more engaged, and more appreciative of each moment. We begin to see that the small victories, the lessons learned, and the skills gained along the way are just as valuable as any final achievement. By shifting our focus from the end goal to the journey, we invite a sense of fulfillment that is not contingent on external outcomes but rooted in the experience itself. Detachment also encourages us to trust in the timing of life. There is often a rhythm, a natural progression to how things unfold, and forcing outcomes can disrupt this flow. When we release our grip on the need for immediate results, we open ourselves up to the idea that things may unfold in ways we couldn't have anticipated, but that ultimately serve our highest good. This requires a deep sense of trust in ourselves, trust in our abilities, and trust in the universe or whatever higher power we believe in. Trusting in the timing of life allows us to relax, to let go of the need to control, and to remain open to the endless possibilities that life has to offer. Another benefit of detaching from immediate outcomes is that it reduces the fear of failure. When we are overly focused on achieving a specific result right away, we become afraid of anything that might prevent us from reaching that goal. This fear can paralyze us, holding us back from taking risks, trying new things, or stepping outside our comfort zones. However, when we release the pressure for immediate success, we become more willing to embrace the unknown. We understand that each experience, regardless of the outcome, is valuable in its own right, and that there is no such thing as true failure, only opportunities for growth and learning. Detachment allows us to find joy and fulfillment in the present moment. When we are constantly focused on what we want to achieve, we often overlook the beauty and richness of the present. We become so consumed by the future that we forget to appreciate the here and now. By letting go of our fixation on outcomes, we create space for mindfulness, gratitude, and presence. We learn to savor each moment, to find joy in the small details, and to cultivate a sense of contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. This shift in focus enriches our lives, allowing us to experience a deeper, more meaningful connection with ourselves and the world around us. Detachment from immediate outcomes also strengthens our resilience. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and things don't always go according to plan. When we are too attached to a particular outcome, setbacks can feel devastating, as if they are proof that we are failing or that our efforts are in vain. However, when we approach life with detachment, we are better equipped to handle these challenges with grace and adaptability. We see setbacks as temporary detours rather than as permanent failures, and we remain confident in our ability to persevere, knowing that every experience is part of the larger tapestry of our journey. Practicing detachment doesn't mean giving up on our dreams or settling for less. Rather, it means pursuing our goals with an open heart and a flexible mind. We continue to work hard, to set intentions, and to strive for success, but we do so without clinging to a rigid vision of how things must unfold. We recognize that there may be multiple paths to our desired destination, and that sometimes what appears to be a setback may actually be leading us toward an even better outcome. This openness allows us to stay adaptable, to explore new possibilities, and to embrace whatever comes our way without feeling defeated or discouraged. To cultivate detachment from immediate outcomes, it helps to develop a mindset of gratitude and self-compassion. When we are grateful for each step of the journey and compassionate toward ourselves, we become less reliant on external validation and more content with the progress we are making, regardless of how quickly it comes. Practicing gratitude allows us to focus on what we have rather than on what we lack, while self-compassion helps us to be gentle with ourselves when things don't go as planned. These practices build a strong foundation of inner peace, enabling us to pursue our goals with joy and resilience rather than with stress and frustration. Detachment invites us to embrace a sense of faith and surrender. Faith in ourselves, faith in the process, and faith in the unfolding of life. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means releasing the need to micromanage every detail and trusting that, in the grand scheme of things, everything is working in our favor. This faith and surrender allow us to move through life with a sense of calm and trust, knowing that whatever happens, we are exactly where we need to be. Do not make the mistake of exposing too much of yourself to the world, for there is power in what you keep hidden. The world outside is often eager to know, but the true strength lies in what is not revealed. When you share too much, you give away parts of yourself that should remain sacred. Your inner world is the most sacred part of you, more important than any external circumstance or opinion. It is where your thoughts, emotions, desires, and dreams are born. It is the space where everything begins and where the deepest manifestations of your life take root. To guard your inner world means to protect the very source of your creation. When you allow too much of the outside world to infiltrate your mind, you risk losing your personal power and control over your destiny. So, think about how much of your life is influenced by external forces. We live in a world full of noise, opinions and distractions, social media, family expectations, friends, and strangers all trying to shape the way we think, feel, and behave. If you're not careful, these external voices can overpower your inner voice, drowning out your true desires and intentions. The moment you let these outside influences dictate your thoughts, you lose touch with the power within you. You are no longer the master of your own life, but a puppet to the forces around you. That's why guarding your inner world is essential. What you allow into your mind and what you focus on will ultimately shape your reality. Thoughts are powerful, they are the building blocks of your experience. If you let your thoughts be guided by fear, doubt, or the opinions of others, you will create a reality full of struggle, confusion, and missed opportunities. But if you protect your inner world and fill it with thoughts of possibility, abundance, and peace, your external world will reflect that. One of the greatest ways to protect your inner world is to limit the information you take in. This doesn't mean you should shut yourself off from the world entirely, but it does mean being mindful of what you expose yourself to. The media, news, and even casual conversations can carry negative energy and limiting beliefs. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, you begin to absorb it. You start to believe that the world is a dangerous place, that nothing good will come to you, and that you have no control over your own life. These beliefs infiltrate your inner world and prevent you from manifesting the life you desire. Be intentional about the information you allow into your mind. Seek out sources of inspiration, positivity, and empowerment. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who encourage your growth, and who share your vision for a better life. If you must engage with the outside world, do so with the awareness that you are in control of what you let in and what you discard. Your thoughts and emotions are yours to choose, and you have the power to protect them from anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Your inner world is also shaped by your beliefs, especially the beliefs you hold about yourself. If you believe that you are not worthy of success, love, or happiness, your inner world will be filled with self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. But if you choose to believe in your worth, your power, and your ability to create the life you want, your inner world will be filled with confidence, strength, and peace. Protecting your inner world means being mindful of the beliefs you allow to take root within you. If a belief doesn't serve you, discard it. If it doesn't align with the vision you have for your life, let it go. Your beliefs are the foundation upon which your reality is built, so it's essential to guard them fiercely. Another key aspect of protecting your inner world is learning to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful. They can either elevate you or bring you down. When you allow your emotions to be controlled by outside circumstances, you give away your power. If you react emotionally to everything that happens around you, you're constantly at the mercy of external events. But when you learn to control your emotional responses, you take back your power. Instead of reacting, you choose how you respond. You don't let your emotions dictate your thoughts or your behavior, you control them. And in doing so, you protect your inner world. Managing your emotions is not about suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing your emotions for what they are, energy in motion, and choosing to direct that energy in a way that serves you. If you feel anger, sadness, or frustration, acknowledge the emotion, but don't let it consume you. Instead, focus on what you can learn from it and use it to fuel positive change in your life. When you master your emotions, you create a calm and centered inner world that is impervious to the chaos of the outside world. Guarding your inner world means cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness. You must know yourself, your desires, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your values. When you are clear about who you are and what you stand for, you become less susceptible to the influence of others. You are no longer swayed by every opinion or judgment that comes your way. Instead, you stand firm in your own truth, knowing that you are the creator of your own life. Self-awareness allows you to discern what serves you and what doesn't, and to protect your energy from anything that doesn't align with your higher self. Guarding your inner world is not a passive act. It requires constant vigilance and awareness. It requires you to be mindful of the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the beliefs you hold. It requires you to protect your vision for your life from the opinions and judgments of others. But when you make the conscious choice to guard your inner world, you reclaim your power. You become the master of your own destiny, and you align yourself with the life you truly desire. Your inner world is where everything begins, and by protecting it, you ensure that your external reality will reflect your deepest desires and dreams. There is a quiet power in mystery, a force that lies in what is not immediately visible or understandable. Mystery is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced. When we reveal too much of ourselves too quickly, we lose the intrigue that draws people to us. It is in our silence, our restraint, that we hold the greatest power. The power of mystery lies in its ability to captivate, to draw others in, and to create a sense of wonder that leaves them yearning for more. Mystery has a unique way of maintaining control over the narrative. When you keep certain parts of yourself hidden, you allow others to wonder, to imagine, and in doing so, you remain in the driver's seat of their perception. People naturally want to understand others, but when they cannot fully understand, they are drawn into a deeper curiosity. It is this curiosity that gives you the ability to influence how others view you. The less you reveal, the more they have to search for, and that search can lead them down a path that suits your intentions. You then are the one who shapes the perception others have of you, rather than letting them define you by what you've already disclosed. Consider the impact of withholding just enough about yourself to spark curiosity. When you hold back certain aspects of your life, personality, or desires, it generates intrigue. People are naturally inclined to ask questions, to make assumptions, and to fill in the gaps with their own projections. But these projections, based on incomplete information, are always less accurate than the full truth. In this way, by being selective in what you share, you gain the upper hand in how others interpret who you are. You allow them to form an image of you that is shaped by their own desires and perceptions, not by your own words. It's important to recognize that the power of mystery is not about being deceptive or dishonest. It's about maintaining the space in which others can project their ideas onto you. You are not offering yourself up for scrutiny, nor are you providing everything for analysis. You are maintaining your dignity and your autonomy by not allowing others to dissect you completely. When you reveal only what is necessary, you keep the conversation about you fluid, open, and in motion. You prevent people from drawing conclusions too quickly or making judgments about who you are. Instead, they are left with a space to wonder, and that wonder is where true power is born. This sense of mystery also protects your energy. The more you reveal about yourself, the more you expose yourself to external influence. People will begin to form expectations based on what you shared, and they will project their needs and desires onto you. This can quickly drain your energy as you start to feel pressure to live up to the projections others have made. But when you keep certain things to yourself, you maintain your autonomy. You decide what is yours to give and what is yours to keep. You don't owe anyone your full story. Your life is yours to shape, and mystery is your shield against external forces that seek to control or influence you. The power of mystery also comes from its ability to keep others engaged. People are naturally drawn to things they cannot fully grasp. We have an inherent desire to understand, to solve the puzzle, to uncover the hidden truths. This is why mystery captivates us, because it triggers our curiosity and makes us want to know more. When you withhold just enough about yourself, you create an energy of anticipation, and this energy draws others in. They become invested in discovering who you truly are. The process of discovery becomes as compelling as the discovery itself, and in this way you become someone they want to be around, someone they want to understand. The longer you maintain this air of mystery, the more people are captivated by your presence. It's also important to understand that mystery fosters respect. People respect those who are not easily figured out, who do not hand over their personal life or their deepest thoughts to the world without care. There is a certain admiration for those who are able to keep their private lives private, to remain a little elusive, a little out of reach. When you are an open book, people may feel entitled to know everything about you. But when you maintain some level of mystery, you establish boundaries that communicate self-respect. You show others that you are not here to be picked apart, but to be respected as someone with depth and complexity. This, in turn, garners respect from others, as they are drawn to the enigma you present. Mystery also allows you to control the flow of information. When you keep parts of yourself hidden, you retain the power to reveal only what is necessary, when it is necessary. You become the gatekeeper of your own story. You decide when and how much to share. This gives you the freedom to choose who gets to know which parts of your life and when. The ability to reveal or withhold is a powerful tool, one that gives you control over how you navigate relationships, how you protect your energy, and how you influence those around you. This control over your own narrative allows you to lead with intention and create the life you desire. There is also a deeper, spiritual element to the power of mystery. When we remain mysterious, we remain connected to the unknown, to the infinite possibilities of the universe. The unknown is where all potential lies. The more we reveal, the more we narrow our potential, the more we box ourselves in. But when we leave some things unexplained, we remain open to all that life can offer. We leave room for the unexpected, for the miraculous. By embracing the mystery, we align ourselves with the unknown, the unseen forces that shape our world, and that is where the greatest power resides. In life, there is strength in what is unspoken, in what is unseen. Your power lies not in what you reveal, but in what you keep for yourself. When you maintain mystery, you maintain control. You protect your energy, you draw people in, and you open yourself to infinite possibilities. Mystery is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a tool, a force that, when used wisely, can shape your world in ways you cannot yet imagine. The less you reveal, the more you allow life to unfold in unexpected and extraordinary ways. Holds a power that is often underestimated in a world that thrives on constant noise and stimulation. In a culture that prioritizes talking over listening, action over contemplation, and words over presence, silence can appear as something passive or even uncomfortable. Yet it is in silence that true power resides. It is in silence that clarity emerges, creativity flourishes, and wisdom takes root. The power of silence is not about saying nothing, but rather about the space it creates for deep transformation, understanding, and connection. Has the ability to provide a sanctuary for the mind. In a world full of distractions, constant social media updates, news cycles, and endless conversations, it can be difficult to find a moment of peace. The constant bombardment of external noise drowns out the inner voice, the one that provides us with guidance, insight, and wisdom. But when we embrace silence, we create the space for that inner voice to speak. In the stillness, we can hear our own thoughts more clearly, we can connect with our intuition, and we can tap into a deeper understanding of ourselves. It is in silence that we find the answers that elude us in the chaos of daily life. The power of silence is also rooted in its ability to create space for reflection. Reflection is a crucial part of personal growth, but it requires quietude to truly be effective. Without silence, we are often too caught up in the noise of our thoughts and the demands of the outside world to reflect meaningfully on our experiences. In silence, we can revisit past experiences, process our emotions, and gain new insights. Silence allows us to step back and observe our lives without judgment, helping us to learn from our mistakes and appreciate our successes. It is in these quiet moments of reflection that we can truly grow, refine our understanding of ourselves, and create the conditions for our best self to emerge. Silence also has the power to foster deeper connections with others. In a world that is obsessed with speaking and self-promotion, many of us have forgotten the power of listening. True listening is an act of silence, a willingness to be present without the need to fill the space with our own thoughts or opinions. When we listen in silence, we create an environment in which the other person feels heard, valued, and understood. It is through this deep listening that true connection can be formed. In relationships, whether personal or professional, silence can create the conditions for empathy and understanding to flourish. When we silence our own voices and simply listen, we allow the other person to express themselves fully, and this creates a bond that words alone cannot achieve. The power of silence can also be transformative in moments of conflict. When we are engaged in a disagreement or a difficult conversation, our instinct is often to speak louder, to defend our position, or to push our perspective. But silence has the power to diffuse tension and create space for resolution. By choosing not to react immediately, by holding back words that might escalate the conflict, we give ourselves the opportunity to respond thoughtfully and calmly. Silence can be a powerful tool for remaining centered in the midst of chaos, for pausing before reacting, and for creating a space in which understanding and resolution can take place. In many cases, silence speaks louder than words, signaling a willingness to listen, to consider, and to respond with care. Silence is also a gateway to creativity. In a world that encourages constant busyness, it is easy to forget that creativity often emerges in moments of stillness. When we stop filling every moment with noise, when we allow ourselves to be still and quiet, our minds can wander freely and new ideas can surface. Silence opens the door to innovation, as it allows us to think without distraction, to explore possibilities without limitation, and to tap into the deep well of inspiration that lies within all of us. The greatest inventions, artistic masterpieces, and creative breakthroughs have often emerged in moments of quiet contemplation, where the mind was free to wander and imagine without constraint. The power of silence is also spiritual. In many spiritual traditions, silence is seen as a direct connection to the divine. When we quiet our minds and bodies, we open ourselves up to a deeper spiritual awareness. Silence allows us to connect with the greater forces at work in the universe, to experience a sense of oneness with all that is. In the stillness, we become more attuned to the present moment, and in that presence we find peace. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simple contemplation, silence provides the space for spiritual growth and connection. It is in the silence that we can experience the presence of something greater than ourselves, and in that experience we find strength, clarity, and peace. Silence is a form of self-discipline and personal power. The ability to remain silent in moments when we are tempted to speak or react is a sign of strength. It requires a great deal of self-control to resist the urge to fill every pause with words, especially in situations where we feel compelled to express ourselves. But the power to remain silent is a form of mastery over the self. It allows us to stay grounded in our own presence, to maintain control over our emotions, and to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than impulsively. By embracing silence, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-mastery that extends into all areas of our lives. Silence is a tool for self-preservation. In a world that often demands that we share everything, silence allows us to protect our energy and our well-being. We are not obligated to share every thought, feeling, or experience with others. By withholding certain aspects of ourselves, we create boundaries that protect our inner world. Silence helps us to guard our privacy, to preserve our emotional energy, and to maintain our sense of self. It allows us to choose what we share, when we share it, and with whom. In this way, silence becomes an act of self-care, one that ensures that we do not give away too much of ourselves to others or to the demands of the world. The power of silence is not just about the absence of sound, it is about the presence of peace, clarity, and depth. In silence, we find the space to connect with our inner selves, to reflect on our experiences, to foster deeper connections with others, and to tap into our creativity and spirituality. Silence is a source of strength, a tool for personal growth, and a powerful force for transformation. When we learn to embrace silence, we tap into a well of power that can guide us toward a more peaceful, intentional, and meaningful life. In a world that constantly tries to define who we are, it becomes crucial to take ownership of our identity and intentionally craft it for ourselves. To create your own identity means to step out of the roles others have assigned to you and embrace a sense of self that is deeply rooted in your inner values, desires, and aspirations. It is an act of empowerment, a choice to no longer be influenced by external forces, but to define and cultivate who you are from within. This process is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey, one that evolves as you grow and change. Your identity is not simply a collection of labels that others place upon you, such as your job title, family role, or societal position. These external labels are only fragments of who you truly are. Your identity is the essence of your being, the values you stand for, the experiences that have shaped you, and the vision you have for your future. When you create your own identity, you give yourself permission to be fully authentic and to live in alignment with your true self. It is about embracing your uniqueness, shedding the fear of judgment, and standing confidently in the fullness of who you are. A critical first step in creating your own identity is understanding who you truly are beneath the surface. This requires deep self-reflection and an honest examination of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It means asking yourself fundamental questions. What are your core values? What makes you feel alive? What are your passions and desires? What do you want your life to represent? The answers to these questions will serve as the foundation upon which you can build your identity. It's essential to recognize that the path to understanding yourself is not always straightforward. It takes time, introspection, and a willingness to confront both your strengths and weaknesses. But in doing so, you uncover the unique qualities that make you who you are. Once you begin to understand yourself, you must start to let go of the expectations that others have placed upon you. From the time we are born, society imposes certain roles, expectations, and norms. Our families, schools, peers, and even the media often try to shape us into something we are not. These external pressures can lead us to adopt identities that don't truly resonate with us. We may feel compelled to follow a prescribed path simply because it is what is expected of us, even though it doesn't reflect our true desires or values. To create your own identity, you must let go of these imposed roles and step into your own power. This can be uncomfortable at first, as it often involves challenging long-standing beliefs and expectations. But it is only through this process of shedding these layers that you can begin to reveal your true self. Creating your own identity also involves making choices that reflect who you truly want to be. It's about setting intentions for your life and taking actions that align with those intentions. This can mean making difficult decisions, such as leaving behind toxic relationships, changing careers, or pursuing a new path that feels more authentic to you. The choices you make today shape the person you will become tomorrow. You must recognize that your actions speak louder than your words. Each decision you make is an opportunity to reinforce who you are and the identity you wish to create. By living in alignment with your true self, you send a powerful message to the world. You are the one who defines who you are, not anyone else. Another key aspect of creating your own identity is learning to embrace your individuality. We live in a world that often encourages conformity and fitting into societal molds. But the truth is that your uniqueness is your greatest asset. No one else has your exact combination of experiences, skills, and perspectives. Embracing your individuality means celebrating the things that set you apart from others. It means being unafraid to express yourself authentically, even if it goes against the grain of mainstream society. When you embrace your individuality, you stop seeking approval from others and instead focus on being true to yourself. This process can be liberating, as it allows you to live a life that feels truly yours, free from the constraints of others' opinions. The process of creating your own identity also involves building self-confidence. In order to live authentically, you must believe in your own worth and abilities. Confidence doesn't come overnight. It is built through repeated actions and self-affirmation. You must learn to trust in your instincts and abilities, even when faced with challenges. It is also essential to recognize that confidence is not about being perfect or flawless. It is about accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all, and knowing that you are worthy of love, success, and fulfillment. Confidence is the key that unlocks the door to living authentically and creating the life you desire. When you believe in yourself, others will believe in you too, and your identity will become a powerful force that inspires and motivates those around you. Creating your own identity also involves cultivating resilience. There will be obstacles along the way, and the road to self-discovery is rarely smooth. There may be moments of doubt, fear, or setbacks that cause you to question your path. But true resilience comes from the ability to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. It is the ability to learn from failures, adjust course when needed, and keep your eyes on the vision of the person you are becoming. Resilience is the strength that allows you to maintain your commitment to your true self, no matter what external forces may arise. It is the inner fortitude to continue creating your own identity, even when the world tries to pull you in different directions. Creating your own identity is an ongoing process. As you grow and evolve, so too will your sense of self. Your identity is not a static, fixed entity. It is dynamic and fluid. You are constantly learning, changing, and adapting as you move through life. This doesn't mean that you are abandoning who you are, but rather that you are allowing your identity to expand and evolve in ways that reflect your growth. By embracing change and staying open to new experiences, you continue to shape your identity in alignment with the person you are becoming. Creating your own identity is one of the most empowering things you can do. It is a declaration that you are in control of who you are and that you will no longer let the world define you. When you take ownership of your identity, you step into your true power and begin living a life that is deeply fulfilling, authentic, and uniquely your own. It is a journey of self-discovery, courage, and growth, one that leads you toward the fullest expression of yourself. Imagination is often seen as a simple tool for creativity or daydreaming, a mental escape from the realities of life. However, imagination is much more than that. It is sacred. It is a divine gift. a powerful force that allows us to transcend the limitations of our present circumstances and tap into the boundless possibilities of our inner world. The imagination is the birthplace of all creation, whether material or spiritual, and it holds within it the power to transform our lives in ways we may not fully understand. To recognize your imagination as sacred is to honor it as the force that connects you to your highest potential, to the divine, and to the infinite possibilities of the universe. At the core of this sacred imagination lies the idea that what we imagine, we can manifest. Every great invention, artistic masterpiece, and significant achievement in human history began as a vision in someone's mind. Before any physical creation was made, it was first imagined. The imagination is the blueprint of the life you are meant to create. It allows you to see beyond what is visible, to envision what is not yet tangible, and to act as a co-creator in the process of shaping your reality. When you understand the sacred nature of your imagination, you unlock a powerful tool for manifesting your desires and bringing them into the physical realm. In its highest form, is not about wishful thinking or fleeting fantasies. It is a focused, deliberate creation of an internal vision that aligns with your deepest desires and values. When you use your imagination in this way, you are tapping into a force that is far more than just mental activity. It is a spiritual practice that connects you to the creative energy of the universe, allowing you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the life you want to create. By envisioning what you want with clarity and conviction, you send a powerful message to the universe that you are ready to receive it. This sacred act of imagination is not just a passive process, it is an active participation in the unfolding of your reality. The sacred nature of imagination also lies in its ability to heal. Often our minds are clouded with fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs that keep us stuck in old patterns and habits. These negative thought patterns can manifest in our lives as obstacles and challenges. Imagination, however, offers a pathway to healing. By imagining new possibilities, new outcomes, and new realities, we can begin to shift our mental state and open ourselves to the transformation we seek. Visualization is a powerful tool that can be used for emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. Whether imagining yourself free of illness, overcoming obstacles, or achieving your dreams, the act of vividly picturing a positive future can help reprogram your mind, creating new neural pathways that support your growth and well-being. When you recognize your imagination as sacred, you also begin to understand its role in connecting you to the divine. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of imagination as a way to connect with higher realms, to receive guidance, and to gain insight. In meditation, prayer, or contemplation, the imagination can serve as a channel through which you receive messages from the universe, your higher self, or divine forces. By quieting the mind and opening yourself to the inner world of imagination, you create space for divine wisdom to flow into your consciousness. It is through this sacred imagination that you can gain clarity on your life's purpose, find solutions to problems, and align your actions with the greater good. Imagination becomes the bridge between the material and spiritual worlds, allowing you to receive inspiration, creativity, and divine direction. Another aspect of the sacredness of imagination is its ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. The imagination allows you to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. It enables you to experience life through the lens of possibility, rather than limitation. When you engage your imagination, you become more attuned to the beauty, magic, and wonder that exist in everyday life. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, solutions where others see problems, and beauty where others see only the mundane. The sacred imagination invites you to look beyond the surface of things and to experience the deeper truths that lie beneath. By doing so, you begin to live a life that is more vibrant, more full of potential, and more aligned with the truth of who you are. To cultivate and honor the sacredness of your imagination, it is important to protect it from the noise and distractions of the outside world. In a society that often prioritizes logic, reason, and practicality, it can be easy to dismiss the value of imagination. Yet, it is in the quiet moments of stillness, when we allow ourselves to daydream, to dream freely, and to envision the life we desire, that we connect most deeply with this sacred power. The more you nurture your imagination, the stronger it becomes, and the more effectively it can work in your favor. Take time each day to engage with your imagination, whether through meditation, visualization, or simply allowing your mind to wander without judgment or restriction. In these moments, honor your imagination as the sacred tool that it is, and allow it to guide you toward the life you are meant to live. The sacredness of imagination also means recognizing its role in creating the life you envision. It is not enough to simply imagine, you must also believe in the possibility of what you are imagining. Your imagination works in conjunction with your belief system. If you do not believe that what you are imagining is possible, your mind will block its manifestation. But when you hold a strong belief in the power of your imagination, when you truly feel that what you are imagining is not only possible but inevitable, you unlock the full potential of your creative power. Imagination becomes a vehicle for both mental and emotional alignment, drawing you closer to your desired reality. In embracing the sacredness of imagination, you also begin to let go of the need for external validation. Imagination does not need the approval of others to be real. What you imagine is yours alone, and it is valid because it comes from the depths of your own heart and mind. The opinions of others, no matter how well-meaning, do not have the power to limit what you can create. Your imagination is sacred because it is uniquely yours. It cannot be replicated or defined by anyone else. Trust in your vision and know that the very act of imagining it brings it closer to manifestation. Imagination is sacred because it is the source of all creation. It is the space where your dreams are born, where the seeds of possibility are planted, and where transformation begins. To honor your imagination is to honor your ability to co-create your life, to tap into your divine essence, and to manifest your deepest desires. By recognizing and embracing the sacredness of imagination, you step into your true power, and in doing so, you unlock the infinite possibilities that await you. What you share becomes yours. This concept is often misunderstood as merely a simple exchange, giving something to someone else in the hope of receiving something in return. However, there is a deeper, more profound truth embedded in this idea. When you share, whether it be your love, your knowledge, your time, or your resources, you are not only giving to others, but you are also receiving in ways that go far beyond what can be seen or measured. The very act of sharing transforms both you and the world around you, and in this transformation, what you share becomes an integral part of who you are. Sharing is an act of expansion. When you share, you are stepping outside of the narrow confines of your own experience and opening yourself up to the world around you. It is a recognition that what you have is not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit of all. In this sharing, you create a flow of energy that connects you to others and to the universe. The more you give, the more you receive, sometimes in unexpected ways, and sometimes in forms that are not immediately obvious. But the truth is that the energy you put out into the world always returns to you in some form, often multiplied. When you share something, you are not just relinquishing possession of it. Instead, you are deepening your connection with it. For example, when you share your knowledge with others, that knowledge becomes more ingrained in your own understanding. It is one thing to know something intellectually, but when you share it, you internalize it more deeply, and it becomes a part of you. The act of teaching or giving information to others forces you to articulate it, to refine your understanding, and to see it through the eyes of those who are receiving it. In this process, the knowledge you share becomes more solidified in your own consciousness. When you share your love with others, it grows and multiplies within you. Love is not a finite resource, it is a limitless energy that expands the more you give. When you give love freely and without expectation, it creates a space within your heart for more love to enter. In fact, the act of sharing love with others can make you feel more loved in return, not necessarily by those you are sharing with, but by the universe itself. Love is an energy that transcends the immediate exchange and reverberates throughout your life, enriching your experiences and attracting more love into your world. The more love you share, the more love you experience within yourself. This principle applies not just to abstract concepts like love or knowledge, but also to tangible things such as wealth, time, and resources. Many people hold on to their material possessions out of fear of losing them or not having enough. However, when you open yourself to the act of sharing what you have, you begin to experience the truth that abundance is not something that is limited. The more you share, the more space you create for abundance to flow into your life. Whether you are sharing your money, your skills, or your time, you are creating a cycle of reciprocity that attracts more of the same back to you. It may not always come in the form you expect, but the act of giving sets in motion a flow of energy that will inevitably return to you, often in ways that are far greater than what you initially gave. When you give, you also open yourself to receiving, and this is a vital aspect of the cycle of sharing. Receiving is not just about material things, though that is certainly part of it. It is about receiving love, wisdom, experiences, and opportunities. By sharing, you are signaling to the universe that you are open to receiving. There is an energetic exchange that occurs when you give something away, whether it's an object, a kind word, or your time. The act of giving creates space in your life for something new to enter, and the more you give, the more you open yourself up to receiving even more in return. Another important aspect of the principle "what you share becomes yours" is the notion of empowerment. When you share, you are not losing anything, you are gaining. Sharing empowers you because it shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It moves you from a mindset of holding on tightly to a belief in a limited supply, to one where you recognize the endless supply of resources, love, and opportunities that exist in the universe. This shift in perspective can be transformative, as it frees you from the grip of fear and allows you to experience life with a sense of flow and ease. You are no longer attached to the idea that you need to hold on to everything in order to survive. You understand that in giving, you are participating in a greater process of expansion and creation. There is also a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from sharing. Whether you are helping others, sharing your talents, or simply offering your presence, the act of giving brings a sense of purpose and connection that enriches your life. In the moment you give, you create a bond with another person, with the community, or with the world around you. This connection can be profoundly meaningful, and the act of sharing often brings more joy to the giver than to the receiver. You begin to realize that the joy and fulfillment you seek does not come from accumulating things, but from the act of sharing, giving, and connecting. This fulfillment is not temporary or fleeting. It is a lasting sense of inner satisfaction that comes from knowing you are contributing to the greater good, and that your actions have a ripple effect on those around you. When you share with others, you also teach them the power of sharing. You become an example of abundance, kindness, and generosity, and you inspire others to follow your lead. Your actions create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate circle. When you give freely, you show others that it is safe to do the same, and in turn they share with others, creating a cycle of generosity and abundance that expands outward, touching the lives of many. What you share becomes yours because it deepens your connection to the world around you. It strengthens your understanding of your own abundance, expands your sense of purpose, and opens the door for even greater things to flow into your life. The more you give, the more you receive, not just in material terms, but in spiritual and emotional richness. When you share, you are not losing anything, you are gaining everything. The energy you put out into the world returns to you, often in ways that far exceed your expectations. What you share, whether it's love, knowledge, time, or resources, becomes an integral part of your own life, enriching you and expanding your possibilities. In the act of sharing, you are creating your own reality, and you are creating the life you are meant to live. There is a natural human impulse to explain ourselves, to justify our actions, thoughts, or decisions to others. It comes from a deep-seated need for validation and understanding, as if we must seek approval for everything we do or say. But the truth is, we do not need to explain ourselves to anyone. In fact, constantly explaining ourselves can drain our energy, diminish our power, and prevent us from stepping into the fullness of who we are. The act of resisting the urge to explain yourself is a powerful practice that empowers you to live more authentically, free from the need for external validation. When we feel the need to explain ourselves, we are often seeking reassurance from others that we are doing things correctly, or that our choices are valid in the eyes of those around us. This impulse arises from a belief that our worth is determined by how others perceive us. We may feel the pressure to meet societal expectations, conform to external standards, or gain approval from others. Yet this need to explain only reinforces the idea that our actions are dependent on the approval of others, which is a dangerous trap. The more we explain, the more we place our power in the hands of others. We allow their judgments, opinions, and expectations to shape our reality. To resist the urge to explain yourself is to take back control over your life. It is an acknowledgement that your choices, your actions, and your path are your own. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop seeking validation from the outside world, and instead you begin to trust your own inner guidance and wisdom. You no longer feel the need to justify why you are doing something, or to seek permission from others to follow your own path. You begin to trust that your decisions are valid simply because you have made them, and that your inner truth is enough. In a world that is constantly telling us what we should be, how we should act, and who we should be, the need to explain ourselves can feel like an unavoidable burden. We are taught to explain, justify, and prove ourselves, especially in situations where others might question our motives or actions. This pressure can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from our true selves. However, when we resist the urge to explain, we reclaim our authenticity. We stop letting the opinions of others dictate our actions, and instead, we start to act in alignment with our own values, desires, and truth. One of the most powerful aspects of resisting the urge to explain yourself is that it allows you to set healthy boundaries. When you constantly feel the need to explain, you open the door for others to invade your personal space and question your decisions. The more you explain, the more you invite scrutiny, which can lead to feelings of self-doubt and insecurity. By choosing not to explain yourself, you establish clear boundaries and communicate that your choices are yours alone to make. You no longer feel obligated to justify your actions to anyone. This act of setting boundaries is not about being defensive or closed off, but about protecting your energy and maintaining your sense of self. It is a recognition that your life, your choices, and your journey are sacred, and you do not need anyone's permission to live authentically. Resisting the urge to explain yourself also frees you from the weight of trying to control how others perceive you. We all have a natural desire to be understood and accepted, but this desire can sometimes lead us to over-explain ourselves in an attempt to ensure that others approve of us. However, no matter how much you explain yourself, there will always be people who don't understand or agree with your decisions. The truth is, you cannot control how others perceive you. You cannot make everyone like you, approve of you, or agree with your choices. And trying to do so only leaves you feeling frustrated and exhausted. When you resist the urge to explain, you let go of the need to control others' perceptions and embrace the freedom of simply being yourself, regardless of how others may see you. This freedom allows you to stay true to your own path without being sidetracked by the opinions of others. Every time you explain yourself, you give away a piece of your energy. You shift your focus from your own desires and intentions to the expectations and judgments of others. The more you explain, the more you disconnect from your inner wisdom and start to second-guess yourself. When you stop explaining, you stop allowing external opinions to interfere with your personal growth and progress. You become more aligned with your true purpose and are able to make decisions with greater clarity and confidence. Another reason why resisting the urge to explain yourself is so empowering is because it teaches you the value of self-acceptance. When you no longer feel the need to explain, justify, or defend your actions, you learn to accept yourself fully without needing anyone else's approval. Self-acceptance is the foundation of inner peace and personal empowerment. It is the recognition that you are enough just as you are, and that your choices are valid because they come from your heart. When you stop seeking approval from others, you begin to experience a deeper sense of self-worth. You no longer measure your value by how others perceive you, but by the way you perceive yourself. It's also important to note that resisting the urge to explain yourself does not mean being rude or dismissive. It simply means that you do not owe anyone an explanation for your choices or actions unless you feel it is necessary. It is about recognizing that your life is your own, and while you may choose to share certain aspects of your journey with others, you are not obligated to justify every decision you make. You are allowed to make choices based on your own intuition, without feeling the need to explain every detail to others. Resisting the urge to explain yourself leads to greater emotional freedom. It allows you to create a life that is truly yours, free from the constraints of seeking external validation. When you no longer feel the need to justify your actions, you step into your power. You begin to trust that your decisions are enough, that you are enough, and that you do not need anyone else's approval to live the life you desire. You can confidently walk your own path, knowing that you are aligned with your truth, and that is all that matters. Resisting the urge to explain yourself is a powerful practice of self-empowerment. It allows you to break free from the need for external validation, trust your own inner guidance, and set clear boundaries with others. When you stop explaining, you stop giving away your energy and begin to live more authentically. You reclaim your power, your peace, and your sense of self-worth. By resisting the urge to explain yourself, you honor your true nature and step into a life of freedom, confidence, and authenticity. Your vision is the guiding force behind your life, the unseen blueprint that shapes the reality you create. It is a reflection of your deepest desires, your dreams, and your aspirations, and it carries within it the potential to transform your life into something extraordinary. Yet to bring your vision to life, you must protect it fiercely. There will always be forces, both internal and external, that seek to derail your progress, sow doubt, and disrupt your focus. To achieve your dreams, you must learn to guard your vision with unwavering commitment, determination, and clarity. The first step in protecting your vision is understanding its power. A vision is more than just a goal or a wish. It is an energetic force that aligns your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the outcome you desire. It shapes your perception of the world and influences every decision you make. Your vision is the foundation for everything you create, and it must be treated with reverence and care. Without a clear, protected vision, you can easily be swayed by distractions, fear, or the opinions of others, causing you to lose sight of what truly matters to you. One of the biggest threats to your vision is doubt. Self-doubt, fear, and insecurity can erode your belief in the possibility of your vision coming to life. The moment you begin to question your vision, you weaken its power and open the door to external influences that may cause you to second-guess yourself. It is essential to protect your vision from the destructive force of doubt. This requires cultivating a deep trust in yourself and your ability to manifest your dreams. Remind yourself regularly of why your vision is important and why it deserves to be realized. The more you nurture this trust, the stronger your vision becomes, and the less susceptible you are to the doubts that arise. Another key threat to your vision comes from the opinions of others. People may not understand your dreams, may question your choices, or may even try to dissuade you from pursuing what you truly want. While others may have their own vision for their lives, it is crucial to remember that your vision is yours alone. You cannot allow the judgments, fears, or limitations of others to dictate the direction of your life. When you share your vision with others, be mindful of whom you choose to confide in. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you, who believe in your potential, and can help you maintain your focus. Protect your vision by distancing yourself from those who do not align with or understand the magnitude of what you are creating. Distractions are another danger to your vision. Life is full of opportunities, temptations, and competing demands for your time and attention. But not every opportunity is aligned with your vision. To protect your vision, you must develop the ability to discern what is truly important and to stay focused on your path. Distractions can come in many forms, whether it is the constant noise of social media, the pressure to conform to societal expectations, or the fear of missing out on other experiences. If you are not careful, these distractions can pull you off course and delay your progress. Protecting your vision requires learning to say no to things that do not align with your highest goals, and learning to stay committed to your purpose, even when other options present themselves. One powerful way to protect your vision is by creating strong boundaries. This means setting clear limits with others and with yourself. You must protect your energy, your time, and your focus from anything that does not support your vision. This may involve turning down invitations, avoiding negative influences, or eliminating activities that drain you. It may also mean creating space in your schedule to prioritize the actions that will move you closer to your goal. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being inflexible. They are about creating a healthy environment for your vision to thrive. When you guard your time and energy, you make room for your dreams to unfold. Equally important is maintaining clarity about your vision. Your vision must be clear, specific, and compelling. If your vision is vague or unfocused, it becomes easier for doubt and distractions to take hold. By clarifying exactly what you want to create, you give your vision the strength and direction it needs to manifest. Write down your vision, create vision boards, and immerse yourself in activities that reinforce the clarity of your purpose. Keep your vision in front of you at all times, and remind yourself of its power whenever you feel uncertain or distracted. The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to stay focused and committed to it. Resilience is another key factor in protecting your vision. The road to fulfilling your dreams is rarely smooth, and you will inevitably face obstacles along the way. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of discouragement. However, resilience is what enables you to keep going when the going gets tough. Protecting your vision means developing the strength to persevere through adversity. Understand that challenges are part of the process, and they are not signs that your vision is not meant to be. Rather, they are opportunities to strengthen your resolve and to prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming whatever stands in your way. Another essential aspect of protecting your vision is to stay connected to your inner guidance. Your intuition is a powerful tool that can help you navigate the complexities of life and keep you aligned with your vision. When you listen to your inner voice, you will be guided to make decisions that are in harmony with your deepest desires. Intuition helps you discern the right path, even when the external world is filled with noise and confusion. Trusting your inner guidance is one of the most effective ways to protect your vision from outside influences and from your own doubts. Meditation, self-reflection, and mindfulness are practices that can help you strengthen this connection to your inner wisdom. Protecting your vision requires a deep commitment to self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for maintaining the energy and focus necessary to bring your vision to life. When you are depleted or overwhelmed, it becomes much harder to stay aligned with your vision. Ensure that you are nurturing yourself through regular rest, nourishing food, physical exercise, and time for relaxation and reflection. The more you care for yourself, the more resilient and energized you will be in protecting and pursuing your vision. Your vision is a sacred force that has the potential to shape your life in extraordinary ways. To protect it, you must guard it fiercely from doubt, distractions, the opinions of others, and the many challenges that will arise along the way. By staying clear, committed, and focused on your path, you can create the life you desire. Protecting your vision is not about closing yourself off from the world. It is about creating a space where your dreams can grow and where you can fully embrace the power of your potential. Keep your vision close, trust in its power, and take the necessary steps every day to bring it into reality. In conclusion, protecting your vision is one of the most powerful steps you can take in shaping your life and manifesting your dreams. By guarding your vision from doubt, distractions, and the opinions of others, you ensure that your path remains true and aligned with your highest desires. The strength of your vision lies not only in its clarity, but in your commitment to it. Trusting yourself, maintaining strong boundaries, and nurturing your inner guidance are all essential practices in safeguarding your dreams. Remember, your vision is sacred and deserves your undivided attention and protection. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on these thoughts and for committing to protect the vision that will guide you toward your highest potential. Stay focused, stay true, and never let go of what you know deep within you is meant to be.